Chapter 799. Chuan wasn't killed, but one of his arms was cut off. White-haired demoness didn't have a good time either. Her stomach was cut open and her intestines were almost exposed. "I'm going to kill you, woman." Chuan had been in this barren land for many years and had never met a worthy opponent. He was more terrifying than anyone. Today, he met a strong opponent and lost one of his arms, but he still didn't retreat. He roared, and his whole body burst out with a more terrible, murderous intent. The devouring demon shadow was completely revealed. Devouring demon sword. This was Chuan's sword skill. It had a crazy, murderous intent and an evil aura. It could even devour living people. It was absolutely fearless. White-haired demoness origin was also extraordinary. Her combat skills were stronger than Chuan's. Countless silver lights sprinkled from her body. The silver sword in her hand drew the power of the star runes she had just comprehended. The infinite silver light was still dazzling. She shouted, "Kill me." The power of the silver light contained an evil aura. This was a mutated power. Its power was even more evil than Chuan's sword skill. Countless sword chi continued to entangle. Many sword shadows collided. The dragon scales on both sides were constantly cut open. A lot of blood kept splashing. The battle was incomparably fierce. The pirates on the warship were stunned. This battle was of great benefit to them. Perhaps it could help them go further in the future. The Battle of the Half-Step Saints affected the sky within 100 miles. Countless clouds were swept away by the sword chi. The warship retreated again and again. It even activated its defensive power. Yang Wu watched the battle calmly. He murmured in his heart, "Yin Qi's combat talent is definitely not limited to this. She has been silent for too long. She needs to find her former fighting spirit." The battle lasted for more than half a day. After white-haired demoness displayed her silver hair talent, Chuan's battle strength was greatly reduced. She finally captured him. Chuan was choked by her silver hair. He was almost out of breath. Blood was still flowing from his body. His bones were exposed. It was a shocking scene. Bang, bang, bang. White-haired demoness didn't have the slightest mercy. She dragged Chuan and smashed him towards the lonely peak. Chuan's body hit the peak, causing it to tremble. The physique of a semi-sage was strong enough. However, after their combat power was about to disappear, their defensive power would decrease. No one would be able to withstand such a furious attack. Chuan was beaten half to death by the white-haired demoness before being dragged onto the battleship. White-haired demoness didn't have it easy either. Her hair was disheveled, and her clothes were dyed white with blood. Her aura was weak, and her condition wasn't that good. Yang Wu looked at her with pity and said, "Take the 3 revolutions little mystery pill." White-haired demoness lightly nodded her head and ate the 3 revolutions profound pill that Yang Wu had given her. The 3 revolutions small mystery pill's medicinal efficacy was astonishing, and it quickly healed her injuries. Her breathing calmed down, and her consumed strength was quickly restored. The aliens on the battleship wanted to take the opportunity to escape, but they were immediately extinguished. The white-haired demoness battle prowess was too strong. After she recovered, who would be her match? Moreover, that ridiculously young lord had yet to make a move. He seemed to only have the strength of a top heavenly fish realm cultivator. If they really fought, none of them would be his opponent. He was definitely a peerless genius, or perhaps there was a mysterious and powerful soul attached to him that made him so abnormal. Yang Wu took off Chuan's yin and yang ring. He used his powerful spiritual force to attack it, and the restrictions on the yin and yang ring instantly disintegrated. After Chuan realized this, he wanted to die. "Your collection is really rich." After Yang Wu opened the yin and yang ring, he couldn't help but be overjoyed. This yin and yang ring was 100 square meters in size. It was stuffed full of things. In addition to most of the mysterious spirit stones, there were many high-level herbs, strange stones, and even high-level Xian arts, battle skills, and so on. There were also suspected sacred objects, and their value was extraordinary. The aliens on the battleship showed a look of envy. They had been plundering for many years, and their wealth couldn't compare to Shi Chuan's. Yang Wu looked down at Shi Chuan and said, "Do you want to live or die?" Shi Chuan ignored Yang Wu and closed his eyes, tried to recover from his injuries as soon as possible and escape. "Oh, pretending to be dead, right? Then I'll take away your soul and seal you so you can never be reincarnated." Yang Wu said lightly, and his fighting spirit emerged. The fighting spirit condensed and revealed its soul body. A powerful martial will swept across the battleship, frightening the aliens. They knelt down one by one and shouted in unison, "My lord is mighty." Ordinary people couldn't separate their fighting spirit from their body. It could be done when one reached the dragon transformation realm, but there was no way to condense it like Yang Wu's. The pressure was so strong that it was close to the saint realm. Many of the aliens were afraid. If this fighting spirit suddenly rushed to their god's court, their souls would be unable to stop it. Such a young monster suppressed them to the point that they had no more disloyalty. Shi Chuan opened his eyes, and his soul flew out from between his eyebrows. He shouted, "Kill!" As a half-step saint, Shi Chuan's soul power was extraordinary. Although his body was crippled, his soul power was still strong. However, Shi Chuan's soul power couldn't be compared with that of the demon face. He was defeated by Yang Wu's fighting spirit in 2 or 3 moves. "Take away." Yang Wu quickly captured Shi Chuan's soul and didn't let it return to his body. This meant that his body had lost its soul and was in a state of death. It would soon rot. Please let me go." Shi Chuan's soul showed a look of horror. "You resisted just now, and now you're begging for mercy. Don't you think it's too late?" Yang Wu smiled faintly. Then he took out a jade bottle and planned to seal Shi Chuan's soul in it. "Let me go, and I'll tell you a big secret," Shi Chuan said loudly. "What secret?" Yang Wu asked curiously. "Let my soul return to my body first, okay?" Shi Chuan begged. "No, I'll give you 30 breaths of time to tell me the secret. If it can interest me, I'll let you go. If the secret is worthless, you can die." Yang Wu showed no mercy. Being merciful to the enemy was being cruel to oneself. "I know a place where amazing inheritances are hidden. It may be the place where Buddha died, or it may be a sacred place." Shi Chuan said quickly, "You don't know where it is, let alone what it is. Is that a secret?" Yang Wu said with dissatisfaction. A blue flame quietly appeared on his finger. It was like a small black tortoise, ready to burn Shi Chuan's soul at any time. Shi Chuan said in horror, "Don't burn me. I know where it is, but it's dangerous. I can't break in alone, so I haven't succeeded. I can take you there immediately. How do I know if you're lying to me? My life is in your hands. How would I dare lie to you? Well, I'll take a wisp of your soul source first and save it for you. If it's true, I'll return it to you." Yang Wu said and forcibly intercepted a wisp of Shi Chuan's soul force. Shi Chuan's soul was damaged. For him, breaking through to the star-rune boundary was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. The surrounding pirates felt a chill in their hearts. They were afraid they would follow in Shi Chuan's footsteps. Yang Wu generously gave Shi Chuan a 3-revolution profound pill to help him recover quickly. The pirates saw the dying Shi Chuan bounce back from the brink of death and couldn't help but be interested in the pill in Yang Wu's hand. They were even more certain that this was a peerless genius from a great clan. Otherwise, where would such a heaven-defying pill come from? Shi Chuan recovered from his injuries in a short time, but his aura was still declining. He couldn't recover his half-saint demeanor in a short time. After all, he was missing an arm. "Well, tell me where that place is," Yang Wu said to Shi Chuan. Shi Chuan knew his fate was difficult to change and could only accept it. He pointed in a direction and said, "It's in a canyon not far away." "So close?" Yang Wu was surprised. "Otherwise, why would I be guarding here? There's an ancient array hidden there. I only found it by accident. With my strength, I can't break in. Without a Saint Array master here, I'm afraid there's no way in." Shi Chuan said, "Let's go take a look first." Not far ahead, there was a canyon with a large river flowing east. From time to time, strange fish jumped out of the water. On both sides of the river, there were constant cries of apes. The battleship landed, and everyone rushed out. Yang Wu put away the battleship and looked down at the place. All of a sudden, hundreds of ferocious birds flew out from the woods, heading straight for Yang Wu and the others. Yang Wu didn't need to take action. These vicious birds were killed by the raiders around him. There's a crack in the canyon wall. After passing through it, we'll arrive at the heavenly treasury. Chuan pointed to an inconspicuous crack in the wall. Lead the way. Yang Wu didn't rush in foolishly. Chuan had no choice but to descend towards that place. As he approached, he said, "There's a vicious ape guarding here. It's a half-saint. I'm not its opponent in my current state." This guy's thoughts weren't simple. If Yang Wu hadn't intercepted his soul source, he would have definitely been tricked. Sure enough, an ape's head emerged from the crack in the wall. Its fierce eyes looked at Yang Wu's group and roared. Roar! The sound was deafening, like the sound of Sanskrit. It went straight into everyone's soul, and they fell into a sluggish state. The vicious ape rushed out from the mountain wall. Its body wasn't very tall, but it flew like a meteor at an amazing speed. In an instant, it reached the height of Yang Wu's group and blasted a fierce fist. The earthy yellow fist power was like a huge mountain rock, crushing toward Yang Wu's group. The souls of everyone present were disturbed. Only Yang Wu was still clear-headed. He looked at the vicious ape with high fighting spirit and said, "Good opponent." Yang Wu rushed out and also condensed a barbaric fist toward the vicious ape. Barbaric elephant fist. A barbaric elephant stood in the air, and a huge elephant leg fell down like a fist. The ground was about to collapse. Bang! The two fists collided like meteorites. The canyon wall shook, and the river water exploded. Chapter 800. Chuan was defeated by the white-hair she-devil. Although he was controlled by Yang Wu, in his opinion, the most powerful person in the warship was the white-hair she-devil. Chuan had fought with it many times, but he couldn't do anything to it. Even if Yang Wu's fighting soul was powerful, his strength was only at the heavenly fish realm. How could he fight with the fierce ape? However, he was shocked after Yang Wu's powerful attack. When did the fighting strength of a heavenly fish realm expert become so abnormal? Could it be that this kid is hiding an old monster? Chuan couldn't help but think a little too much. Yang Wu fought head-on with the fierce ape. He threw out barbarian fists one after another. Various different barbarian beast shadows appeared behind him. His strength was astonishing. Yang Wu had been in the God of War pagoda for 10 years. He had integrated the battle blood talent into his body all the time. As long as he fought, he could erupt with the strongest power. This had a lot to do with his extreme chi circulation. The strength of his barbarian god arm had been excavated to the limit. He was like a battle maniac, a young god of war. It was very unfathomable. The fierce ape was already at the level of a half-step saint. Its eyes were red with anger. It was ferocious and powerful. Under the continuous bombardment, Yang Wu was beaten back. The fierce ape's physical strength was abnormal. Every punch was enough to destroy a mountain. The power contained in its every move could crush any peak minor saint. Fierce astral earth cage. Suddenly, a terrifying earthy yellow force formed a huge chi field, enveloping Yang Wu. The earth cage was filled with earth blades, constantly attacking Yang Wu. This was the innate power of the fierce ape. It didn't have the patience to be entangled with Yang Wu. It wanted to get rid of Yang Wu as soon as possible. The 8 trigrams battle armor appeared on Yang Wu's body. This was the black tortoise battle armor. It had a strong defensive power. Most of the fierce ape's power was neutralized by the 8 trigrams battle armor. The remaining power fell on the battle armor and broke it. This big guy is too strong. I have to go all out, Yang Wu said in his heart. He finally used his self-created martial god's fist. The martial god's fist was named by one of his ancestors, the martial god. This fist technique was a fusion of the black tortoise tyrant fist, true explanation of barbaric fist, and various other fist techniques. This fist technique was most suitable for him to use. The martial gods will become stronger the opponent, and it was in a state of invincibility. After Yang Wu struck out with the martial god fist, he entered his own world of will. This was a kind of extreme martial arts will. After entering this martial arts will, no matter what opponent he encountered, he would use all of his strength to fight until the end. He would do his best to break through his own limits and defeat any opponent. It was because of this martial intent that he was able to defeat other opponents of the same level in the God of War Pagoda. Fight! Yang Wu's battle prowess was constantly rising. He roared, and every punch contained the Jinwu boxing. The water power of the river was absorbed and soared into the sky, forming the appearance of a black tortoise. It fiercely collided with the ferocious ape again. Bang! Bang! Fists collided with flesh, and a series of muffled sounds rang out incessantly. The canyon trembled, and many rocks rolled down from the cliffs. The trees and weeds were crushed into dregs. Not far away, the pirates who were watching were stunned. They knew that Yang Wu's battle strength was very strong, but they didn't know it was to this extent. He could even fight a half-sage. My lord is so strong, Hong Ing stammered. No wonder he dares to walk in the desolate area. Whoever meets him is unlucky. Lang Yu sighed. He had wanted to teach Yang Wu a lesson. Now, he knew that Yang Wu had enough confidence to ignore his little tricks. Such a lord is worth following, Fei Hung murmured. Sichuan's face darkened, and he didn't speak. His eyes were filled with complex emotions. He couldn't wait for Yang Wu to die. However, Yang Wu's strength was beyond his expectations. It would be even more difficult for him to get rid of Yang Wu's control. When Yang Wu was at the intermediate heavenly fish realm, he had dug out the limits of the heavenly fish realm. At that time, he could fight a fierce battle with the face beast. When he reached the top heavenly fish realm, his strength increased by 2 small realms. His battle strength increased greatly again, giving him the power to challenge a half-sage. Barbaric fist, chaotic fist, Jinwu fist. Yang Wu threw out 3 punches in a row. Shadows of black tortoise, savage beasts, and other battle auras kept appearing. They collided with the fierce ape again and again. They were evenly matched. Bang! The fierce ape roared again and again. A strange sound came out of its mouth. It seemed to come from the ancient Sanskrit sound. It was like the morning bell and evening drum, shaking people's souls. This was the sound it had just roared. This time, the roar was stronger than before. Yang Wu only felt that an ancient swastika character had broken into his divine court and wanted to suppress his soul. What kind of power is this? Why does it have a kind of Buddha nature? Yang Wu thought. His fighting soul stood upright and waved at the Sanskrit word. Bang! The ancient sounds that broke and were shattered by his fighting soul one by one. They didn't cause any harm to him. You're really strong. If you were a spirit demon, I would have taken you as my mount, Yang Wu shouted in surprise. When the fierce ape saw that Yang Wu wasn't disturbed and was still attacking it, it gave up on roaring. Once again, it displayed its unique offensive talent. It stretched out its arms and formed a hug. The fierce energy squeezed toward Yang Wu crazily. 2 huge mountains crashed toward Yang Wu. Fierce mountain smash. The fierce ape unleashed its full strength, creating a terrifying force that was enough to crush any opponent below the half-saint level. Such violent power had once made Sichuan suffer a lot. After Yang Wu felt the fierce ape's powerful force, he once again recalled the scene of fighting with the young martial gods in the God of War Pagoda. Their attacks had made him feel desperate. The more desperate it was, the more he gritted his teeth and persevered. Only in this way could he stimulate the strength of every part of his body to the extreme and completely draw out the energy in his dantian. Kill! Yang Wu shouted. The thousands of holes in his dantian erupted. The dragonfish breathed in and out. Pure energy rushed out of his meridians. His meridians were like the waves of a river. His acupoints were like stars twinkling. The strength in his limbs and bones was squeezed out. The limit of his willpower showed an invincible state. He punched out with a martial god's fist. An indomitable aura collided with the power of the mountains. Boom! Boom! The space was shaking. The river under the canyon was surging, and the rocks on the left and right were exploding. This was a battle between half-saints. Yang Wu's head was smashed by the two mountains. The fierce ape was also hit by Yang Wu and fell into the river. Blood flowed out. Yang Wu didn't care about his injuries. He flashed his ice blade wings and swooped down towards the river. The fierce ape rushed out of the water. The two powerhouses collided once again. The river water gave rise to thousands of waves. Yang Wu entered the water. He stepped on the surface of the water. Water, Xian Qi, unceasingly gathered on his body. He seemed to have turned into a dragon turtle. He waved his arms. One of them was a fist, while the other one was a palm. He punched out at the same time. Dragon turtle sea turning technique. This was no longer a simple dragon turtle sea turning technique. It was a technique that was combined with Black Tortoise's power. It was a technique that erupted to the limit. The water of the river seemed to have been transferred. The dragon turtle carried a torrential power and fiercely collided with the fierce ape. The fierce ape wasn't afraid at all. It also rushed over like a mountain. Its shoulder was surging with an incomparably heavy power. The power of the earth, Xian Qi, unceasingly superimposed. It formed an invincible power. Even if the mountain was hit by it, it would be turned into ashes. Fierce ape hits the mountain. The fierce ape crashed into the river. The power of the river water unceasingly scattered. It was still moving forward, as if there was no obstacle that could stop its power. Yang Wu didn't retreat. His eyes were wide open. He urged the 9 profound arts to the limit. The innate Xian Qi strengthened his body. The frost spring Xian Qi gathered the qi of extreme cold, and the blood fiend Xian Qi increased the blood fiend Xian Qi. The 3 types of Xian Qi were madly supporting him. The power of his physical body also erupted to the limit. The power of the sea-turning technique was earth-shattering. The two forces exploded wave after wave. The power of the river rushed into the air. The two sides of the gorge seemed to be on the verge of collapsing. Fortunately, there was an indescribable power, so it didn't really collapse. Yang Wu was sent flying and embedded into the rock wall. The bones in his chest were all broken. His body was dyed red with blood. His strength was completely drained. He was in an extremely bad state. The fierce ape wasn't any better. It was sent flying by the river. Its whole body seemed to have fallen apart. It couldn't muster up any fighting strength. It could only reluctantly float away with the waves. The white-haired she-devil was worried about Yang Wu. She quickly darted towards Yang Wu's position. The other raiders exchanged glances. Some of them wanted to take the chance to escape. Everyone, what are you waiting for? Are you really going to become their cannon fodder? Wolf Fong cried out in surprise. In the next instant, he quickly left the warship with 2 of his close friends. Yang Wu and the white-haired she-devil were the 2 strongest people on the warship. Without them on the warship, Bai Luoyun and Yang Jinlong couldn't hold the fort. Blue Phoenix was nowhere to be found. Wolf Fong wanted to escape. Since this was a good chance, he naturally wouldn't let it go. Wolf Fong was a peak small saint. He was extremely fast. Before Bai Luoyun could launch the warship's attack, Wolf Fong had already appeared 10,000 feet away. His 2 companions followed closely behind. The other raiders on the warship were tempted. In the moment they hesitated, they saved themselves. A shocking green palm descended from the sky, slapping towards Wolf Fong and his companions. The palm's power fell slowly. Wolf Fong and his companions could clearly feel its existence. Their faces were filled with extreme shock as they cried out in surprise. Holy power! Don't kill me. I'm willing to go back. Damn it. Why is holy power descending? This can't be real. It's over. Is this Yang Wu's hidden trump card? I don't want to run anymore. Is it too late? Bang! Blood splattered everywhere. Chapter 801. Water was flowing and blood was floating in the air. As the cold wind blew, the pirates on the warship felt an inexplicable chill. A peak miner, Saint, was killed in one move. Only a saint could do that. Where did this saint come from? No one on the scene was a fool. How could a peerless genius like Yang Wu not have a Tao protector? It was impossible for white-haired Demoness to be alone. Perhaps she was just an ordinary servant. There must be a saint secretly protecting her. That was the reason why she dared to provoke all the pirates. Asterisk gulp asterisk Faye, who swallowed his saliva. His soft voice clearly fell into everyone's ears, waking them up from their stupor. Quick, quick, go and protect Master, Feihu exclaimed and flew towards Yang Wu's position. The others didn't dare to stay idle. They quickly rushed towards Yang Wu's position as if they were loyal protectors of Yang Wu. Bai Luoyun smiled faintly and said, I thought they weren't afraid of death. It seems like they're just SOSO. Yang Jinlong said, I also want to become a saint. Then work hard together with Uncle. Bai Luoyun said from the side, I will surpass you first. Maybe in your next life. How can I be surpassed by you? Yang Wu was injured. White-haired demoness protected him and didn't bring him out. She knew that he would recover soon. Those pirates were just putting up a show. They didn't need to protect Yang Wu. The ferocious ape was severely injured. It would be impossible for it to return in a short time. Yang Wu circulated the supreme 9 mysteries formula. A large amount of xian qi of heaven and earth gathered towards him. His devouring speed was too fast. The xian qi of heaven and earth within a radius of a few miles was devoured by him. It gave everyone a fright. Even a half-step saint wouldn't be able to absorb energy with such speed. No wonder Yang Wu had the battle prowess of a half-step saint. His foundation wasn't just for show. After the xian qi of heaven and earth entered his body, it began to fill up the emptiness in his dantian. His condition gradually improved. About an hour later, he had recovered 30% of his strength, and his injuries were completely healed. He walked out from the rock wall, his face still extremely pale. He raised his head to look at white-haired demoness and said, All right, I'm fine. You all can go back. I'll fight in the future. White-haired demoness said with heartache. Yang Wu shook his head and said, I'll take care of my battles. Pausing for a moment, he smiled and said, Don't worry. I'm afraid it won't be possible to have peace in the future. On the path of cultivation, if you don't advance, you'll fall behind. You'll have to fight against the heavens. Every time you grow, there'll be different opponents. You can forget about having a smooth journey. Yang Wu looked at Sichuan and said, Lead the way. Sichuan didn't dare to have any thoughts and obediently rushed towards the crack. He was also frightened by the power of the holy aura. There were many cracks in the canyon. In this kind of place, vicious creatures and poisonous insects like to stay. No one would pay special attention to one of the cracks. Chuan also accidentally discovered that this crack was different from the others. When Chuan led Yang Wu and the others to the designated crack, no one could see anything unusual. Chuan said, The hidden ground is inside, and there's a powerful array protecting it. I can't break it. Yang Wu looked at the crack and saw that it was dark inside. He could vaguely see some weeds growing inside. He also saw some traces left by the fierce ape. He hesitated for a moment and opened his soul eye. His soul eye could see through the void, and everything inside the crack was clearly seen by him. The crevice was very deep, reaching hundreds of feet. There were 3 high-grade earth xian qi herbs and some rare stone materials. The value of all of them had reached the level of minor saint. There were indeed formation patterns at the end of the crevice. They were hidden very deeply, crisscrossing each other like a sealed space door. There were also some restrictive forces in front of the door. Once touched, these restrictive forces would release a powerful killing force to strangle the intruder. The fierce ape was able to guard this place and didn't break into the restricted area. Obviously, it instinctively knew that this place was very dangerous, or it had already known its mission. It guarded this place and didn't let other creatures invade. The people around looked at Yang Wu's soul eye with shock. Every kind of pupil talent contained extraordinary power. This should be one of Yang Wu's hidden talents. It was enough to deter them. Can you see the situation? Sichuan asked nervously. He had discovered this place for some time, but he hadn't been able to enter it. He was more concerned about the situation inside than anyone else. In the hidden sky realm, there was an ancient race. They were called Tibetans. Everyone was born in the hidden sky cave. After they died, they would be buried in the hidden sky cave. Those with astonishing origins or noble status would choose to be buried in the hidden sky cave. The so-called hidden sky cave was to hide the coffin on top of a high mountain and suspended in mid-air. It was called the sky burial tomb. The Tibetans also called it the land of hidden sky. Chuan understood the situation of the Tibetan people. He believed that this hidden heaven realm belonged to a hidden heaven realm. Moreover, this hidden heaven realm was protected by a formation. There must be a great opportunity inside. No matter what era the hidden heaven realm was passed down from, there would be a large number of funerary objects or some ancient inheritance. Yang Wu replied, "There is indeed a formation. It's very complicated. If you want to break it, it will inevitably cause a great commotion. Maybe you will be killed instead. Is there no way to break it?" Chuan asked again. "Since we've discovered it, how can we not break it?" Yang Wu smiled faintly. Then he turned to look at the absorbed raiders and said, "I know that you are not loyal to me, and I don't mean to make you all loyal to me. After a while, when I finish my business, I will naturally give you back your freedom. The premise is that you work for me honestly during this time. Otherwise, Wolf Fong and the others will end up like them. Do you understand?" "Understood," the raiders said in unison. There was a saint secretly watching their every move. How could they dare to say no? "Good. Next, come with me and take a look," Yang Wu said with satisfaction. Yang Wu put away the warship and asked by Luo Yun and Yang Jinlong to stay. He also asked Qing Feng to seal the aura of this place. When he broke the formation, it would cause a commotion. He was afraid that it would attract unnecessary trouble. The space between the crevice was not small. It was a long crack that could allow dozens of people to enter at the same time. Yang Wu ordered the two raiders to scout the way ahead. Although he had already seen the situation inside, it was better to be careful. Both of them were minor saints. They didn't dare to be careless. They walked forward cautiously, fearing that they would trigger the power of the formation. Yang Wu was not simply sending them to their deaths. He explained the general situation behind them. Soon, they reached the depths and saw a few herbs. This was yellow zuansen. It was an earth xianqi herb. It was a minor saint herb. There were also a few pieces of yellow veinstone. It was an excellent material for refining minor saint weapons. The raiders' greedy eyes flashed, but they quickly restrained themselves. They were no longer the leaders of the raiders. They were the subordinates of someone else. These things had to be respected. The two raiders carefully took these things and said to Yang Wu, "My lord, these are for you." Yang Wu nodded and took these things without hesitation. He said, "Don't go any further. The formation is 15 feet in front of you. If you touch it, you will die. I'm afraid this is a saint-level formation. Without a Saint Array master, it won't be easy to break it." Chuan said. Yang Wu said, "You're right. There are no Saint Array masters, but I still want to try to break this formation." "My lord, you can't." White Hair, She-Devil said nervously. "It's okay," Yang Wu said firmly. His soul, I could see every formation pattern of the formation, including the power of the restriction here. He could see it clearly. He was confident that he could break the formation. Yang Wu did as he said. He took a few steps forward and opened his soul eye again. He carefully looked at the formation and restriction here. The power of the crisscrossing formation pattern fell into his eyes. Hundreds and thousands of formation patterns gave him a headache. He also felt a little dizzy. Where to break the formation was a big problem. Yang Wu quickly found the formation core here. If he broke the formation core, the formation would naturally lose its effect. This formation was a chain formation. If the method to break it was wrong and the formation was triggered, the person breaking the formation would fall into a state of eternal damnation. Many of the raiders were extremely nervous. They wanted Yang Wu to break the formation, but they were also afraid that Yang Wu would trigger the formation and bury them here. Yang Wu recalled the time when his great-grandmother had saved Yang Taiha. She had used the restrictions and formations he had seen to break them one by one. She had helped him gain some benefits. The weakest formation core has the most formation patterns crisscrossing. The strongest formation core has the least formation patterns. These 2 points are the most dangerous. First, I'll break the formation core at the edge. Then, I'll break the rest of the formation. Yang Wu thought to himself. He took out the double-edged three-dragon spear and stabbed in a direction. Bang! The double-edged three-dragon spear stabbed into the ground. In an instant, many restriction powers bounded. The restriction power was triggered. Everyone was shocked. Only Yang Wu didn't show any emotion. He took out the cloudy heaven sword and stabbed in another direction. Bang! Another muffled sound rang out. The power of several restrictive spells was cut off, and their power dimmed. Yang Wu seized the opportunity. He shouted, "Break for me!" His soul, I saw many restriction powers. His sword slashed at the weak points, stopping the restriction power from operating. The restriction power was very strong. When Yang Wu broke the formation, he was hit by a strong backlash. His body slammed heavily into the rock wall. Everyone was shocked again. Yunqi, break the Qin position. Devouring Creek, break the Kuan position. Flying Tiger, break the Jin position. Quick! Yang Wu ordered everyone. The long sword in his hand pointed in different directions. He pointed out the weak points of the formation core to the others. The few people reacted quickly. They took out their weapons and attacked the positions pointed out by Yang Wu. Several forces turned into rainbows and landed in different positions. Bang! Bang! Chapter 802. Between the cracks, the array continued to explode, and the runes disintegrated. The power of the explosion was limited, so it didn't hurt anyone present. Even so, these people were scared to the point of breaking out in a cold sweat. They were afraid that if they made a single mistake, they would be killed by the same array. Shi Chuan licked his lips and said, "Broken." "Broken? It should be broken. The space door seems to have opened. We can break in," Hong Mo said. "Don't think it's over. There's more. If you break in now, you'll die. Continue to listen to my instructions," Yang Wu said seriously. Everyone had just breathed a sigh of relief, but they quickly tensed up again. Yang Wu continued to point out different array eyes, allowing the others to cooperate with him. He took care of the overall situation to prevent any mistakes. This was a sane array. If they made a single mistake, the array would activate and none of them would be able to escape. Yang Wu would be lying if he said he wasn't nervous. His soul, I was focused, and he didn't dare make the slightest mistake. Pung! Pung! Under everyone's joint efforts, the array eyes were broken again and again. Finally, the space in front of them was completely revealed, and the array eyes on the left and right disappeared. Yang Wu repeated this twice, then said to the people around him, "Who wants to go in first?" Shi Chuan took the lead and said, "I'll go in first." After he said this, he didn't wait for Yang Wu's permission. He turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed through the space door. Xiao! Shi Chuan entered the space gate and didn't encounter any accidents. The eyes of the other pirates lit up. They also wanted to rush in. Whoever went in first had the chance to obtain Tiansong's opportunity first. Yang Wu looked at the people next to him and said, "Who else wants to go in first?" "Master, I'm willing to go." One of the pirates stood up and cupped his fists. "Master, I'm also willing to go." Then 3 more people stood up and said. Yang Wu nodded gently and said, "You go in. No matter what you obtain, it's yours." The 4 were overjoyed and quickly rushed through the space door. "My lord, are you not planning to go in?" Hong Ying asked. He, I worked so hard to break the formation. How can I not go in?" Yang Wu smiled faintly. After a pause, he asked again, "Who else wants to go in?" The people who stayed behind were all extremely cautious. They guessed that the inside might be filled with danger. If they rashly went in, there might not be any good results. No one wanted to rush in. Seeing that no one answered, Yang Wu smiled faintly and said, "If that's the case, then let's go in." After saying that, he quickly put on the defensive armor and led the way. Everyone looked at each other and prepared to defend themselves. It would definitely not be peaceful inside. After Yang Wu led them through the spatial gate, they quickly appeared in a different place. Screams of agony rang out as corpses fell to the ground in their direction. Flying Tiger stood up and threw out a tiger fist, blowing up the corpse. "It's the guys who came in first. They're dead." Hong Mo exclaimed. "Look, what's that?" Even Shi Chuan is in a difficult situation. Hong Ying cried out. In front of him, Shi Chuan was fighting several golden silhouettes. These golden silhouettes didn't have any vitality. Looking at their appearance, they looked like monks. Each of them seemed to be made of gold. Their attacks were like dragons and tigers. Their combat strength was abnormally strong, comparable to the strength of a quasi-saint. In addition to them, there was an old coffin floating not far away. Below this old coffin, there was a pool of liquid that seemed to be steaming with dragon chi. There were also many herbs that were full of vitality growing there. Yang Wu's gaze fell on the pool of liquid, and his eyes glowed with excitement. He was sure that there was an extraordinary secret hidden here. In addition, he noticed that the demon taming order seemed to have a sense of resonance. He couldn't help but wonder, is this place related to the demon taming hall? Just as Yang Wu was in a daze, 3 golden monks rushed in their direction. They ran like the wind. One of them held a golden staff, one was barehanded, and one held a golden saber. Their momentum was surging, and the golden chi was dazzling. At this time, Chuan, who was not far away, screamed, "Ah!" He was hit in the abdomen by a golden monk, and his body flew away like a cannonball. Chuan was a quasi-saint. Although one of his arms was crippled, his combat strength was still inferior. But in front of these golden monks, he was still no match for them. This showed how strong these golden monks were. There were a total of 9 golden monks here. Each golden monk had an inexplicable pattern on their forehead. They were controlled by the pattern power there. They must have been very powerful when they were alive. Half-saint-level puppets. Be careful if you join forces. Yang Wu exclaimed. He no longer paid attention to the people behind him and rushed towards the direction of the pool of liquid. Chuan's goal was also the liquid. It might be the sacred liquid. If he got it, he would be able to regrow his arm. The 9 golden monks were guarding this place. How could they let these people break into the forbidden area? A golden monk rushed toward Yang Wu. The golden stick in his hand smashed down on Yang Wu's head. Golden light flickered and the stick's shadow was like a rainbow. In an instant, it arrived above Yang Wu's head. This kind of attack was really extraordinary. Yang Wu didn't want to fight head-on with the opponent. He quickly dodged and continued to rush forward with the wind god's legs. The golden monk followed him like a shadow. The golden stick swept continuously, blocking one side of the world and blocking Yang Wu's way. Yang Wu couldn't avoid it. He blocked it with the double-edged triple dragon spear. Clang! Clang! The 2 weapons collided and sparks splashed. Yang Wu's arm was numb from the shock. His body was continuously pushed back. He exclaimed, "What a powerful force!" The golden monk didn't have any emotions. He held the golden stick and attacked continuously. Every move contained an extremely domineering power. This kind of attack was very difficult to deal with. Yang Wu tried his best to block it. His hand was bleeding, and the double-edged triple dragon spear was almost knocked out of his hand. If this went on, he would definitely be defeated. I must find its weakness and kill it in one blow. Yang Wu said secretly. He locked his eyes on the golden monk's glabella. The ice blade wings were hidden and stabbed out. No matter how strong the golden monk was, he was just a puppet. He couldn't sense the existence of the ice blade wings. The ice blade wings pierced his glabella. The defensive power of the golden monk's glabella was very strong. The attack of the ice blade wings was not weak either. The ice blade wings almost pierced the golden monk's glabella. The power of the golden monk's glabella was impacted and stagnated for a short time. Yang Wu seized the opportunity and counterattacked with the double-edged triple dragon spear. The long spear was like a dragon, stabbing the golden monk's glabella heavily. Asterisk bang. Asterisk under the continuous attack. The golden monk's glabella was pierced through. The power of the golden monk's glabella was dispersed, and his movement was stopped. Before Yang Wu could catch his breath, another golden monk rushed over and punched his back with a golden fist. Asterisk puff. Asterisk the power of this punch was as heavy as 10 million ding. Yang Wu vomited blood and was sent flying away. The golden monk continued to rush over. His golden fists were like raindrops enveloping Yang Wu. Every punch was enough to destroy a mountain. No peak miner's saint could withstand it. The golden monk's attack was too fast. Yang Wu didn't even have the chance to counterattack. His body was beaten up. Fortunately, he was wearing a Peak Minor Saint's defensive armor before he came in. Otherwise, he would have been killed instantly. The defensive armor was broken. Yang Wu was angry. He roared, "Don't think that you can be rude just because you are a monk. If you want to fight, let's fight." Yang Wu's battle chi soared to the sky. It was as if he had transformed into the black tortoise. The 8 trigrams tortoise shell appeared. He fought back despite the continuous attacks from the golden monk. A domineering spirit filled the air. Barbaric tyrant fist. Fist against fist. Both of them collided together. Yang Wu was beaten back again. Both of his arms were stained with blood. He felt that his arms were about to be broken. The ice-bladed wings seized the opportunity and launched another sneak attack. This time, the attack of the ice-bladed wings was fast and accurate. It wanted to break the power of the golden monk's glabella in one fell swoop. The power of the ice-bladed wings was no longer just the power of the kidneys. It could now borrow the power of the dantian to increase its power. It was like 2 icicles, one from the front and the other from the back, piercing towards the golden monk's glabella. This time, the attack of the ice-bladed wings finally destroyed the power of the golden monk's glabella. The golden monk was sent flying and lost his combat ability. Yang Wu didn't care about the others and rushed towards the liquid at full speed. With his combat experience, Shi Chuan had already reached the bottom of the coffin. The golden monk did not attack him anymore. Instead, he went towards the others. Haha, it's the dragon marrow liquid. I can take the opportunity to cultivate the holy dragon body. Shi Chuan laughed wildly and was about to jump into the liquid. Yang Wu's voice sounded. It seems that you have forgotten your identity. Go to hell. Yang Wu no longer showed mercy and directly erased Shi Chuan's soul origin. The soul origin was the root of the soul. Once it was damaged, the spirit would suffer a great blow. Shi Chuan was too complacent. Finally, Yang Wu made a ruthless move. His soul seemed to be scattered and his head was about to explode. Yang Wu controlled the ice-bladed wings and slashed at Shi Chuan's neck. The semi-sage level plunderer's head was separated from his body. Yang Wu licked his lips and murmured, "Being controlled by this lord, you still don't know how to be loyal. You really don't know how to write the word death." Yang Wu came to the bottom of the ancient coffin. The golden monk did not chase after him. For them, the bottom of the ancient coffin was a forbidden area. Yang Wu did not rashly jump into the liquid. He turned back and shouted to White Hair Witch, "Yin Shi, go out and bring me Zhen Long and Luo Yin." After a pause, he added, "If you don't want to die, get out of here quickly." Half of the plunderers he brought in were dead. There were still a few survivors, but they could not resist the golden monk's attack. They would only be waiting for death if they stayed. "My lord, take care," Fei Hu exclaimed and turned around to escape quickly. He was punched twice by the golden monk, and several of his bones were broken. If it were not for his speed, he would have been killed long ago. Hong Yimou and Hong Ying were more cautious. They stayed behind and did not participate in the battle. When they heard Yang Wu's order, they did not hesitate to leave. Chapter 803. Heavenly Treasury. Yang Wu came to the floating ancient coffin. Behind him were 7 golden monks. They surrounded Yang Wu. Once Yang Wu left here, they would join forces to kill Yang Wu. The surroundings were a mess. More than a dozen corpses were lying in pools of blood. They couldn't be more dead. These evil plunderers had all died here. Yang Wu didn't feel pity at all. Although they weren't weak, each of them was stained with blood. They deserved to die. Right now, he was thinking about how to get the dragon chi liquid. As Shi Chuan said, it should be a pool of dragon marrow liquid. Half of the dragon bone was soaked in the liquid. Wisps of dragon chi emerged from the dragon bone. This kind of dragon marrow liquid was comparable to the sacred liquid. It was of great benefit to body tempering. For Yang Zhenlong, it was even more rare. The chi here was connected to the ancient coffin. He didn't act rashly. He felt that the ancient coffin was strange. It wouldn't be too late to act after he figured out. Let's defeat all 7 golden monks first. Yang Wu looked back at the 7 golden monks and said, Yang Wu wasn't stupid enough to rush over and fight with these golden monks. Instead, he used the ice blade wings to attack and defeat the golden monks one by one. These golden monks were very powerful. Unfortunately, they didn't have consciousness and couldn't perceive the existence of the ice blade wings. He could easily use them as rakes and crush the power between their eyebrows. The 7 semi-sage golden monks fell down one by one. If the dead Chuan and the plunderer saw this scene, they would be very unwilling. They couldn't hurt the golden monks even if they tried their best. Yang Wu defeated them so easily. It was really infuriating. At this time, white-haired demoness returned with Yang Jinlong and Bai Luoyin. "Come here first. Let me figure out what's going on here," Yang Wu said to them. Yang Jinlong exclaimed excitedly, "Father, I sense the smell of a dragon." "Well, there's dragon marrow liquid here. It's enough for you to transform," Yang Wu said with a smile. "That's great. Then, Father, hurry up," Yang Jinlong replied happily. Yang Wu nodded. He opened his soul eye again and looked at the ancient coffin. Just as Yang Wu's gaze landed on the ancient coffin instantly emitted an intense golden light. The golden light transformed into a blade and pierced straight towards Yang Wu's soul eye. Yang Wu did not even have time to react before his soul eye was pierced by the golden light. His fighting soul automatically defended against the golden light with all its might. "Get out of here." Yang Wu's fighting soul was still very strong. His mental energy turned into a fist and continuously attacked, finally stopping the golden light. The ancient coffin's attack did not stop there. It actually dropped rapidly from midair and suppressed Yang Wu. Yang Wu could no longer open his eyes. He could keenly sense that the ancient coffin was falling. Without hesitation, he gathered all the strength in his body and attacked the ancient coffin. Bang bang! Yang Wu continuously attacked with the martial god's fist and Jinwu boxing principle. It was like a black tortoise soaring into the sky and fiercely colliding with the ancient coffin. The power of the boxing principle could fight against a half-step saint. However, it was still unable to resist the suppression of the ancient coffin. The boxing principle was crushed inch by inch. The ancient coffin continued to smash down furiously. It was as if Mount Tai was pressing down on him. It was impossible to stop. "Lord Father," white-haired demoness, Bai Luoyin, and Yang Jinlong cried out in alarm. The ancient coffin was too strange. If it continued to smash down, Yang Wu would probably be smashed into a meat patty. "Evil puppet, come out." At this critical moment, Yang Wu summoned an evil puppet. It blocked the ancient coffin in advance. He got a little breathing space and rushed out from under the ancient coffin. The evil puppet could only resist for a moment before it was crushed by the ancient coffin. Bang! The ancient coffin fell to the ground. The evil puppet was crushed into a pile of debris. Yang Wu had barely escaped. He hadn't been killed. However, his spiritual power had been seriously injured. So, he couldn't open his soul eye for a short time. The ancient coffin didn't stop there. It moved without wind and rushed towards Yang Wu. Its speed was too fast. Even if it hadn't reached the power of the Saint Realm, it was still comparable to the peak of the half-step Saint Realm. It was infinitely close to the power of the Saint Realm. Yang Wu couldn't dodge it. He was hit on the back by the ancient coffin. His body was sent flying like a kite with a broken string. Puff! His blood splashed. His body fell heavily 1,000 feet away. He was seriously injured and couldn't get up. "You guys go out. I'll block it," white-haired demoness said to Yang Jinlong and Bai Luoyin. Then, she turned into a phantom and rushed towards the ancient coffin. She would block the ancient coffin for Yang Wu, even if she had to die. Without waiting for white-haired demoness to block the ancient coffin, a beautiful figure had already quietly appeared. A cyan-colored palm print furiously slammed towards the ancient coffin. Bang! The powerful ancient coffin was sent flying by the cyan palm. This was the power of the Saint Power. It was so powerful that even the ancient coffin couldn't block it. However, this ancient coffin was really strange. After it was sent flying, it didn't explode, nor was it damaged in the slightest. Qing Feng frowned. She attacked again. She wanted to break the ancient coffin completely. The cyan palm shot towards the ancient coffin. Golden light burst out from the ancient coffin, and a Sanskrit sound was heard. Bang! The Sanskrit sound was the same as the sound of the ape guarding outside the crack. However, there was a huge difference in power between the two. The Sanskrit sound from the ancient coffin was like the roar of the Buddha. It contained a kind of soul-attacking power. No one could block it. The Sanskrit sound and the cyan palm collided fiercely. The Sanskrit sound was still a bit weaker. The Sanskrit sound was shattered, and the Sanskrit palm was also weakened. It didn't pose too much of a threat to the ancient coffin. The ancient coffin didn't retreat. Unknowingly, it had returned to the pool of dragon marrow liquid. A majestic dragon chi was released from a coffin. A terrifying dragon-shaped battle chi soared into the sky and entered the ancient coffin. A terrifying holy aura swept out in all directions. In addition, an unknown ancient scripture soared into the sky. Sanskrit chants resounded once again. Roar! Bang! A real dragon roared, and the Sanskrit sound was heard. The real dragon became 10,000 jong long, and its powerful body fiercely crashed into Qing Feng. There was also a bang sound aimed at Qing Feng's head. Qing Feng frowned. She waved her hands, and two cyan palms shot out. It was as if a cyan phoenix had appeared and pecked at the real dragon. There were also countless feathers that were like sharp blades cutting through the Sanskrit scriptures. The sky was connected, and the saint power was shocking. It seemed like the space was about to explode. Boom! Boom! No matter how strong the ancient coffin was, it wasn't as strong as Qing Feng. After all, it was borrowing the power of the ancient coffin. An evil voice sounded from the ancient coffin. You're disturbing my cultivation. You'll all die a horrible death. The ancient coffin carried a terrifying momentum towards Qing Feng. It looked like the head of a dragon, and it was shining with golden light. Its power was boundless. Nobody dared to look at it directly. Break! Qing Feng didn't waste time talking nonsense. She raised her spirit and used all of her strength to hit the coffin. Who knew that the ancient coffin was only bluffing? It suddenly changed its direction and soared into the sky, dodging Qing Feng's attack. In the next moment, it appeared in front of the space gate and escaped from this space. Qing Feng wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Qing Feng hesitated and said, "You guys stay here. I'll go and see." She turned into a phoenix and quickly chased after the ancient coffin. White-Haired Demoness by Luo Yun and Yang Jinlong quickly flew towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu had already sat up, but his aura was weak. He hadn't completely recovered yet. "Father, are you okay?" Yang Jinlong asked worriedly. Yang Wu's eyes were a little dazed as he shook his head. The Sanskrit's attack wasn't so easy to calm down. He closed his eyes and started to use the Soul Control Sutra to heal his soul as quickly as possible. Ever since he condensed his battle soul, this was the first time his soul had been injured. It could be seen how terrifying the Sanskrit's attack was. The Soul Control Sutra was indeed a sutra that targeted the soul. When it was used, the divine court Tao flower released strands of spiritual energy and wrapped around the battle soul, nourishing it bit by bit. His body's injuries weren't big. The Regal Nine Mysteries Sutra automatically circulated and could slowly heal him. White-Haired Demoness by Luo Yun and Yang Jinlong didn't leave his side. They stayed by his side until he recovered. After 2 hours, Yang Wu woke up from his meditation. He looked at his companions and smiled. "I'm fine. Let's go see the dragon marrow liquid and the dragon marrow grass." "Are you really okay?" White-Haired Demoness asked. "Yes. Don't worry. I'm not that weak." Yang Wu nodded. So, he stood up and walked toward the dragon marrow liquid. The others followed closely behind. The dragon marrow liquid was formed by the condensation of the spiritual spring, dragon bones, and dragon chi. The level of the dragon bones determined the level of the dragon marrow liquid. The level of the dragon marrow liquid in front of them wasn't low. It was at least at the level of a sage-to-be or even a true sage-to-be. Otherwise, the ancient coffin wouldn't have been able to lend out such a powerful dragon chi. Yang Jinlong was close to the dragon clan. When he saw the dragon marrow liquid, he shouted excitedly, "Pure dragon marrow liquid!" Yang Wu sized up this pool of dragon marrow liquid. It could accommodate at least a dozen people at the same time. He said to his companions beside him, "Don't be in a hurry to soak your bodies in. Let me add some more ingredients and remove the dragon chi before you go in. Otherwise, it will be quite harmful to us. It's all up to you, my lord. Bai Luoyin said excitedly. If they could soak their bodies in the dragon marrow liquid, their bodies would undoubtedly be greatly improved. This would be a great opportunity. White-haired demoness didn't have any objections. She agreed with whatever Yang Wu did. Yang Jinlong said, Father, I'm not afraid of the dragon chi. Yang Wu said with a smile, there's a lot of dragon marrow liquid here. It's useful even for small saints. You're still in the king realm and can't bear so much energy. I'll collect some for you. I'll let you soak half of it and leave the other half to us. Roar, Father is the best. Yang Jinlong shouted with satisfaction. Okay, I'll divide the dragon marrow liquid first and mix some herbs to fully display the effects of the dragon marrow liquid. Chapter 804. Outside the crevice. Qing Feng chased after the ancient coffin. The ancient coffin was fast, but so was Qing Feng. Just as Qing Feng was about to catch it, it suddenly exploded. A terrifying explosion swept out in all directions, shaking the space. Qing Feng had to stop. A sinister voice echoed, I'll remember you. It won't be long before all of you die. A beam of golden light had already left this world. Soon, he appeared in a barren mountainous area. He was a naked young monk who looked to be in his early 20s. There were 9 ring scars on his head. He had a resolute face, a pair of sharp eyes, and a bronze-colored body. Every part of him was filled with explosive power. He put his palms together, and there seemed to be small dragons floating above his palms. The boiling power of his blood chi was extremely powerful. I have not cultivated my golden dragon Buddha body to the greater completion realm, and it was interrupted. Damn it! The young Arhut didn't look like a kind monk. He shouted coldly and reached out with a golden palm to smash a mountain into powder. Then, he smiled coldly and said, Hee, the power is not bad. With my current battle power, I am not afraid of even a saint. The first place of the heavenly dragon ranking will be mine. Who would have thought that this young monk was still in the dragon transformation realm? He was not a real saint, but with his dragon transformation realm, he had the power to fight against a saint. Even if he borrowed the power left behind by Tian Song, it was still terrifying enough. There is still some time before the heavenly dragon ranking opens. Let me travel for a while and then return to the temple. As for the disciple who interrupted my cultivation, we will meet again in the future. I will take care of them then. The Arhut muttered to himself. He stepped into the air and disappeared in an instant. In the crevice, Yang Wu divided the dragon marrow liquid into 3 parts. He left a small half for Yang Jinlong to soak in, kept the other half for future use, and moved the other half to another place. He mixed some herbs to lower the dragon chi and help them refine their bodies. Yang Jinlong soaked in the dragon marrow liquid before the others. When he walked in, he quickly turned back into his original form and roared continuously. Roar! The demonic dragon aura began to seep into its body. Even though it had thick skin and thick flesh, it was still in excruciating pain. Yang Jinlong was only a demon king, and this was the saint-level dragon marrow liquid. If he did not have a trace of true dragon bloodline, and had been soaked in the blood fiend mystic essence chi, he would have been devoured by the dragon fiend chi and died. Bai Luoyin looked at Yang Jinlong, who was rolling on the floor in pain. He shrunk his neck and said, So miserable! You will definitely die if you enter. White-haired demoness said in a deep voice. Yang Wu stood at the side as if he did not hear their words. He refined the herbs one by one and dripped their essences into the dragon marrow liquid. Not only could these herbs eliminate the dragon chi, they could also enhance the effects of the dragon marrow liquid. Yang Wu consumed a total of 180 herbs before he was able to suppress the dragon chi and soak his body in it. Luo Yin, you are weaker. The power of the dragon marrow liquid here is very strong. Take as much as you can. Don't force it, or you will be devoured. Yang Wu reminded Bai Luoyin. Yes, master. Bai Luoyin replied. Okay, let's go in. Remember, the dragon chi is only suppressed. It is still very domineering. Enjoy it. Yang Wu smiled. Then, Yang Wu took the lead and walked into the dragon marrow liquid. White-haired demoness followed closely behind. Bai Luoyun also followed. Ah! Bai Luoyun howled as soon as he walked into the dragon marrow liquid. The power of the dragon marrow liquid was boundless. The dragon chi was still there. Even though it was very weak, it was still enough for Bai Luoyun to endure. Yang Wu and white-haired demoness were both attacked by the dragon aura. They did not activate their defenses and allowed the dragon aura to enter their bodies and stimulate their muscles. Only by enduring the dragon aura would they be able to withstand the cleansing of the dragon marrow liquid. Yang Wu chose a spot in the middle and sat down cross-legged. The chi of the dragon-killing intent still caused him to feel a slight pain. It was as if his body was being bitten by numerous small dragons. After that, the chi entered his body and stimulated his meridians, acupoints, and internal organs. Yang Wu completely relaxed his body and allowed the power to transform his body. In the God of War pagoda, he had already tempered his body to the limit of every realm. Now that he had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm, this was the key to advancing to the dragon transformation realm. He had to further enhance his combat body. Only then would he become even stronger after advancing to the dragon transformation realm. The dragonfish in his body was crazily devouring the power of the dragon marrow liquid. The dragonfish's body was very huge, like a 1,000-year-old fish demon. It swam around in the vast sea and jumped up from time. Its strength was astonishing. Once Yang Wu broke through to the dragon transformation realm, this dragonfish would become the overlord of the dragonfish. It would be able to transform into a true dragon at the fastest speed. The Regal 9 profound arts was operating, and the improved dragon marrow liquid continuously seeped into his body, filling every part of his body. The areas that were lacking in his body began to be filled, and a dragon chi appeared behind him, incomparably powerful. Not far away, the white-hair she-devil revealed a pained expression. Clearly, the dragon chi was affecting her. She was enduring it with all her might. After an unknown period of time, she no longer revealed a pained expression. She had gotten used to the stimulation of the dragon chi. Bai Luoyun was still crying out in pain. The scales on his body were falling off piece by piece, and blood was seeping out from his skin. The power of the dragon marrow liquid was too strong. He could not bear it. I have to persevere. I have to persevere. I have to become stronger. I can't be a burden to the Lord. Bai Luoyun gritted his teeth and kept roaring in his heart. He endured the pain bit by bit as his body was being transformed rapidly. This time, the time they spent undergoing the marrow cleansing was not short. The person who woke up the fastest was Bai Luoyun. After forcefully enduring for 3 days, his body had almost shed a layer of skin. He could not bear it any longer and rushed out of the dragon marrow liquid. When he came out, his strength increased rapidly, charging towards the peak of the heavenly realm. Dense Xian Qi was released, and his body was growing rapidly. The Xian Qi of heaven and earth entered his body, and he successfully broke through. White-haired demoness also came out of the dragon marrow liquid on the 5th day. She had gained a lot. She had reached the semi-sage realm. The marrow cleansing of the dragon marrow liquid was of great significance. It strengthened her physique and also increased her chances of breaking through to the celestial rune realm. I have to make up for what I missed as soon as possible. I want to become a sage. White-haired demoness sat cross-legged on one side and continued to consolidate her gains. She had touched the edge of the celestial rune realm. She only needed an opportunity to step into the celestial rune realm and become a sage. This opportunity might appear soon, or it might not appear for a long time. It might even never appear. This depended on one's perception and cultivation talent. On the 7th day, Yang Jinlong also rushed out of the dragon marrow liquid. He issued a dragon roar, and his body was constantly transforming. His dragon aura was even more terrifying. His aura was charging towards the heavenly demon realm. Rumble. Yang Jinlong was ravaged by the terrifying heavenly thunder, but he barely survived and smoothly broke through to the heavenly demon realm. He drilled into the dragon marrow liquid again and underwent a second transformation. The biggest gain of this trip was definitely Yang Jinlong. Apart from the advancement of his realm, his body had also become more powerful. On the 10th day, Yang Wu also made a move. He didn't come out, but increased the speed of his devouring. The power of the dragon marrow liquid was unceasingly converging towards him. He was like a bottomless pit. The dragon marrow liquid was cleansing his body over and over again. The green sprout in his body also absorbed some of the dragon marrow liquid, but more of it was absorbed by his body. Not only did it cleanse his meridians, acupoints, and internal organs, even his bones were being refined by him. After he had devoured almost all the power of the dragon marrow liquid, he finally completed the refinement. Bai Luoyin was watching this scene the entire time. He couldn't help but cry out in alarm. How did the Lord do it? White-haired Demonis lightly said, "You only refined your skin and flesh. I refined my skin and internal organs." He refined his entire body, including his bones. He has achieved a half-sage battle body. Bai Luoyin stared with wide eyes. Is the Lord not afraid of exploding from all this power? He is not you, white-haired Demonis said. Bai Luoyin felt very hurt. He had broken through to the peak of the heavenly realm and finally caught up to Yang Wu's realm. But he still felt that the difference between him and Yang Wu was like heaven and earth. Yang Wu rushed out of the dragon marrow liquid. His entire body was covered in dragon aura. It was as if a true dragon had appeared. His oppressive aura made people unable to look straight at him. He wasn't in the dragon transformation realm, but his aura was something that even a dragon transformation realm cultivator couldn't compare to. The dragon marrow liquid is really good stuff. Yang Wu smiled with incomparable satisfaction. In his current state, if he faced the vicious ape again, it wouldn't be a lose-lose situation. He was confident that he could kill it. On the other side, Yang Jinlong had completed his second refinement. He flew out as heavenly lightning rained down on him. The second wave of tribulation lightning was a mid-level heavenly demon. Yang Jinlong's breakthrough speed was too fast. This time, Yang Jinlong didn't have as much trouble resisting the heavenly lightning as before. Even if there was a mutated heavenly lightning, he could face it head-on. In the end, he successfully passed the tribulation lightning. Although he was covered in wounds, his condition was much better than the first time. Yang Jinlong dove into the dragon marrow liquid again. He used the remaining power of the dragon marrow liquid to heal his wounds and conduct the final refinement at the same time. Yang Wu watched Yang Jinlong do this and couldn't help but laugh. This little guy knows how to take advantage of opportunities. This time's harvest is great. Yang Jinlong had a sliver of dragon blood. He was destined to receive benefits that others couldn't imagine. Yang Wu, white-haired Demonis, and Bai Luoyin waited patiently for 2 more days before Yang Jinlong finished his refinement. Chapter 805. Yang Wu named the flood dragon Yang Jinlong because he wanted him to become a true dragon one day. Yang Wu hadn't thought that the opportunity would come so quickly. After Yang Jinlong had obtained the dragon marrow liquid's purification and tempering, his dragon form had become even more distinct. He was much more powerful than an ordinary flood dragon. Dragon scales had begun to grow on his body, and even dragon whiskers had sprouted. He was much stronger than before. He was only a blood flood dragon. If he wanted to transform into a true dragon, he had to go through the transformation process. The dragon marrow liquid's power was very pure, but it still wasn't the dragon's true life force. Only after he obtained the dragon's life force would he have the chance to completely replace his bloodline power and transform into a dragon. Currently, Yang Jinlong was the emperor of the flood dragons. His aura was very domineering, and his dragon chi was very obvious. He was very satisfied. Luoyin, I want to challenge you. After Yang Jinlong's transformation, the first person he wanted to challenge was Bai Luoyin. He said he wanted to surpass Bai Luoyin first. Bai Luoyin stood up and scolded with a smile. Good boy, you just increased your strength and you dare to challenge your Uncle Luoyin. You really don't have any respect for me. Yang Jinlong said shyly, No, I just feel that Uncle Luoyin is a good opponent. That's why I want to challenge you. Cut the crap. Uncle will teach you how to be a human. No, a dragon. Bai Luoyin confidently went up to meet him. He released the power of a top-notch heaven realm expert and formed a mist around him. He became even more proficient in controlling water, profound energy. Uncle, are you ready? Yang Jinlong asked. Come, Bai Luoyun said in a deep voice. Then I'm coming. Yang Jinlong shouted and swung a powerful dragon fist. His target was Bai Luoyun. The dragon fist was mighty, and the demonic qi shocked the heavens. Yang Jinlong's explosive power was very strong. Even a high-level demon couldn't compare. He was strong enough to fight a peak heavenly fish. Good boy, your battle qi is really amazing, but you are still far from being able to challenge your uncle. Bai Luoyin shouted and shot out a blue palm to meet Yang Jinlong's attack. Bai Luoyin did not use his full strength. He had just broken through to the heavenly fish realm and was very powerful. He was afraid that he would hurt Yang Jinlong. In the end, he suffered a great loss. The power of Yang Jinlong's dragon fist was extremely strong. It destroyed his palm print with one punch and punched towards his chest. Bang! Bai Luoyin reacted quickly. He condensed his battle qi and took Yang Jinlong's punch head-on, sending him flying. After Yang Jinlong succeeded in his move, he took advantage of the situation and quickly chased after Bai Luoyin with dragon steps. One after another, dragon fists bombarded Bai Luoyin like raindrops. Damn, it's for real! Bai Luoyin adjusted his body. He bounced up and struck out with his palms to block Yang Jinlong's attack. Yang Jinlong's punches were too fast for him to block. He took a few more punches from Yang Jinlong, and his face was swollen. Uncle Luoyin, your strength is not enough. Yang Jinlong provoked. Bai Luoyin was so angry that he shouted, Good boy, I will teach you how to be a dragon. In an instant, a powerful mist exploded and forced Yang Jinlong's attack to retreat. Then, he counterattacked. He used swimming fish steps and circled to Yang Jinlong's side. He struck out with both palms. The power of each palm print was suffused with a thick blue light. The power was much stronger than before, and Yang Jinlong's body was sent flying. Yang Jinlong's body was strong and was not affected at all. He bounced back and fought with Bai Luoyin. After Bai Luoyin became serious, he would not let Yang Jinlong succeed so easily. The battle between the two was extremely intense, and the heaven-earth profound qi here was messed up by them. Who do you think is stronger? Yang Wu asked white-haired Demoness. Bai Luoyin. White-haired Demoness said with certainty. After pausing for a moment, she added, In a life-and-death battle, Yang Jinlong lives. Yang Wu's eyes slightly raised as he said, The dragon race's battle body is too strong. I'm really looking forward to him transforming into a true dragon. Yang Wu did not have time to continue watching their battle. He walked toward the dragon marrow grass and picked it up. This would be of great use to him when he entered the dragon transformation realm. There was still half a dragon bone in the dragon marrow liquid. He did not let it go. It was incomparably important to Yang Jinlong. It was a good thing for him to cultivate for a period of time. Swallowing it would allow him to grow true dragon bones. Yang Wu also took a small piece of dragon bone to use as medicine. This was one of the necessary ingredients to refine the inverse dragon pill. At that moment, the demon taming command in his yin-yang space began to move again. Yang Wu did not think too much about it and took out the demon taming command. The moment the demon taming command was taken out, it automatically released a strange energy. Below the dragon marrow liquid, something suddenly broke out of the ground. It was a command medallion. The medallion was filled with a dense dragon aura. The demon taming command medallion resonated with it, constantly intertwining with it. The figure of a demon taming command medallion appeared from the medallion. It was a tall demon taming command medallion, and a faint voice sounded out, Dragon Guard Medallion. Roar. The medallion's dragon aura roared as a figure wearing armor appeared from the medallion. The figure replied, The leader of the third Dragon Guard greets the demon taming temple master. AI, my heavenly palace has been destroyed. The demon taming command medallion's figure heavily sighed. As long as the Dragon Guards do not die, the heavenly palace will not be destroyed, the leader firmly said. The death of a man is like the extinguishment of a lamp. In the end, the heavenly palace cannot defeat an immortal, The demon taming command medallion's hall master faintly replied. He then glanced at Yang Wu and said, "Let out a heavenly voice." The Dragon Guard medallion returns. In the next moment, the demon taming command medallion's aura disappeared, and the medallion returned to normal. Yang Wu could not help but let out a heavenly voice, as if it was the voice of a true son of heaven from ancient times. The Dragon Guard medallion's aura receded, and the figure of the third Dragon Guard slightly cupped his fists towards Yang Wu, leaving behind a voice. "I hope that my Dragon Guard will regain its invincible might." The third Dragon Guard disappeared from the medallion, falling into Yang Wu's hands together with the demon taming command medallion. Yang Wu carefully examined the two medallions and discovered that they were made of the same material. They were both sacred medallions, and both medallions had the same special symbol. The only difference was the words on the medallion. Both of them are Heavenly Palace medallions. Yang Wu absent-mindedly muttered. The Heavenly Palace had an extraordinary background, and every medallion had a different meaning. He had actually obtained two of them. It seemed like he really was fated with the Heavenly Palace. Yang Wu carefully put away the two medallions. Perhaps they would be of great use very soon. Yang Wu continued to walk around this space, looking for anything else that he had missed. Not long after, he discovered an old stone. There was a strange Sanskrit character carved on the stone. He could not recognize what it was, but he felt that it was very similar to the hum sound emitted by the vicious ape in the ancient coffin. The white-haired demoness appeared beside Yang Wu and said indifferently, "This is the Sanskrit word hum, the Buddhist 6 syllables of truth." It said that anyone who can comprehend the Buddhist 6 syllables of truth can turn anyone into a Buddha and can also destroy any god or devil. Although the rumors are a bit exaggerated, the ancient Buddhas who immediately became Buddhas had Buddhist chants, and their destructive power is indeed very terrifying. "You mean to say that we can comprehend the Buddhist incantation from this stone tablet?" Yang Wu asked back. The white-haired demoness lightly shook her head. "How can the Buddhist incantation be so easy to comprehend? It requires great wisdom, and only those who are fated with the Buddha will have the chance. Simply speaking, this stone tablet is imprinted with an inheritance, and whether or not we can obtain this inheritance is the key." "Then why don't you give it a try first?" Yang Wu said. The white-haired demoness did not refuse. She sat down and used her spiritual power to sense the stone tablet. She wanted to see if she could obtain anything from the stone tablet. Yang Wu did not stay idle. He continued to walk towards other places. He walked around in a circle. Bai Luoyun and Yang Jinlong's battle had stopped. Bai Luoyun's skill was a level higher, and he was able to suppress Yang Jinlong. "Ha! Stinky brat, you know your wrongs." Bai Luoyun's body was covered with injuries as he pressed down on Yang Jinlong's body and laughed. Yang Jinlong did not reveal his true body. He lied down and replied, "Luoyun is mighty. Just let me go." "Stinky brat, hurry up and get up." Bai Luoyun did not argue with Yang Jinlong. He jokingly scolded him, and then he let Yang Jinlong go. Yang Jinlong bounced up and smiled. "Uncle Luoyun, don't be arrogant. It won't be long before I surpass you. I definitely won't give you the chance." Bai Luoyun clenched his fist and said, "All right, stop scolding. Let Yin Qi quietly comprehend the stone tablet." Yang Wu said. Yang Jinlong and Bai Luoyun immediately shut up and began to heal their wounds. The white-haired demoness studied the stone tablet for an hour, but she did not gain anything. She stood up and calmly said, "My lord, why don't you give it a try? I feel that this stone tablet is a bit out of the ordinary. Perhaps there really is an incantation imprint hidden within. Perhaps a drop of essence blood can break open the mystery of the stone tablet?" Yang Wu asked back. The white-haired demoness shook her head and said, "How could an authentic Buddhist incantation be stained with blood?" "I see. Then I'll give it a try." Yang Wu suddenly understood and replied. He began to sit down cross-legged, looking for an opportunity to sense the stone tablet. His soul had been pierced by the golden light. Even if his mental strength had recovered, it would be difficult for him to open it again in a short period of time. He could not use his soul eye, but he could still use his battle soul. The battle soul appeared, and he used his mental strength to concentrate on the stone tablet. He wanted to see if the stone tablet could resonate with it. The stone tablet did not move at all, but just as the white-haired demoness said, it gave people an indescribable feeling of mystery, as if it really did contain the power of an incantation. Yang Wu could not help but think back to the Sanskrit chants that the fierce ape and the ancient coffin had made. He tried to learn to make the hum sound. At first, he did not sound like it, but after making a dozen or so sounds, he felt that it was quite similar. However, the words on the stone tablet still did not respond. Could it be that I'm overthinking it? Yang Wu could not help but think to himself. In the next moment, he had a flash of inspiration. He remembered that the hum sound was a Buddhist incantation that targeted the soul. If he used his battle soul to make the incantation, he might be able to obtain a resonance. Thus, he changed to using his battle soul to make the incantation hum, 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 hum. The incantation was faint, and the Buddhist aura was faintly discernible. Yang Wu did not know how many times he had made the hum sound. The stone tablet suddenly emitted a golden light, and a Buddhist incantation sounded out. Hum. Chapter 806. Buddhist Mantra. Many people in the world knew that they were Om, Ma, Ni, Pad, Mi, and Hum. Each Buddhist sound represented a different meaning. Usually, people knew that the Tsimpo praised the merit of chanting the six-word bright mantra. If one chanted the six-word bright mantra, one could cover up and destroy the evil of the world. The word hum could cover up and destroy the evil of the heavenly demon. The word ma could cover up and destroy the evil of the female ghost. The word ni could cover up and destroy the evil of the nirvana demon. The word ba could cover up and destroy the evil of the earth god. The word mi could cover up and destroy the evil of the nirvana demon and the death demon. The word hum could cover up and destroy the evil of the dove panti and the rakshasa. The king who chanted this mantra could purify all the karma and habits created by the three gates of body, speech, and mind. The word hum could purify the body. The word ma could purify the language barrier. The word ni could purify the mind barrier. The word ba could purify the worry barrier. The word mi could purify the chi barrier. The word hum could purify the knowledge barrier. The six-word mantra was also known as the six-word bright mantra. Everyone understood different meanings, and the meaning they could erupt was also different. When the stone tablet let out a deafening bang sound, Yang Wu felt as if his head was about to explode. Even his fighting soul was unable to stop its power from invading his body. As the bang sound entered his body and attacked his fighting soul was in danger of collapsing. Suddenly, the divine court Tao flower released a unique power. A petal absorbed the Sanskrit words and imprinted them on the petal. Yang Wu's pain subsided. He seemed to see an ancient Buddha solemnly putting his palms together and chanting. With a thought, all things would be revived, all things would die, the world would change, and the stars would move. The power of the hum was shocking. It contained infinite wisdom and power. It was not something that anyone could understand. Yang Wu imitated Guzun and sat cross-legged. He put his palms together and kept chanting, hum, hum. The first word was ordinary. The second word was ordinary. The third word was full of Buddhist aura. Suddenly, wisps of Buddha nature floated around his body. He was like a Buddha descending, exuding a transcendent temperament. With this sound, Yang Wu's body and mind were cleansed and purified. Many obsessions that he had held since he was a child flashed through his mind. These obsessions quietly disappeared, and his thoughts instantly became clear. Everything became clear, and his state of mind became completely different. He actually had the thought of yearning for Buddhism. Yang Wu had gone through 10 years of training in the God of War Pagoda. His was very firm. At the critical moment, he shouted, "Don't try to change my mind." Following his voice, the ancient monk disappeared. The Sanskrit sounds scattered, and everything returned to normal. "My lord, are you all right?" White-haired Demoness and Bai Luoyun asked in unison. Yang Wu wiped off his cold sweat and said, "That was close. I was almost turned into a Buddha by the Buddha's words." "How terrifying. You sense the power of the imprint?" White-haired demoness asked. Yang Wu nodded and said, yes, it shouldn't be wrong. Bang! Suddenly, the stone tablet cracked open. Yang Wu frowned and said, what's going on? The imprint's intent has dissipated. The inheritance is also gone, white-haired demoness said. Let's go. Let's leave this place. Yang Wu felt that it was a little dangerous to continue staying here. He stood up and left with White-Haired Demoness by Luo Yun and Yang Jinlong. The intent of Buddhism was too strong. He didn't want to become a Buddha. He was afraid that if he continued to stay here, his will would be affected again. Yang Wu's group left the crevice. Flying Tiger, Hong Mo, and Hong Ying didn't leave. They stayed obediently. It wasn't that they didn't think of escaping, but when they thought of the saints here, they were afraid that they would follow in Wolf Fong's footsteps. After Yang Wu came out, he didn't say anything to them. He took out the battleship and left with them. Qing Feng quietly returned to the battleship. Flying Tiger, Hong Mo, and Hong Ying were finally able to see the beautiful saint's appearance. They became incomparably cautious. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly. They were glad that they didn't run away. Otherwise, they really would have died. What is that ancient coffin? Yang Wu asked Qing Feng. A person, Qing Feng replied. A person lying in an ancient coffin? The legendary living dead? A young monk in cultivation. He hasn't become a saint yet. What? A young monk who hasn't become a saint yet? How can he be so strong? His strength is great. Even with external help, I can't take him down quickly. Qing Feng replied. After a pause, she added, if you meet him in the future, run away immediately. I haven't even seen what he looks like. How can I run away? Yang Wu shrugged. After a pause, he said, wait until I enter the dragon transformation realm. If I meet him again, I might not lose. Yang Wu could fight against a half-saint. When he entered a higher realm, he was confident that he would be invincible under the half-saint realm. Even if he met the young monk in the ancient coffin again, he wouldn't be afraid. This was his martial intent. He wanted to surpass all limits and become an invincible god of war. Thinking of this, Yang Wu sat down cross-legged. He abandoned all distracting thoughts and began to cultivate. Even though he had given up on the idea of becoming a Buddha, he had already obtained the sound of hum. He wanted to try cultivating it. Perhaps it could become one of the strongest trump cards of his war soul. Hum, hum, hum. Yang Wu's war soul meditated on the sound of hum. He wanted to familiarize himself with this feeling. Even if he couldn't unleash the true meaning of Buddhism, as long as he touched the surface, he would be able to benefit greatly. The sound of hum came from his soul. When attacking the soul, it mainly relied on one's spiritual will. Strengthening one's spiritual will might be the key to activating the sound of hum. After Yang Wu imitated the sound of hum for 1,000 times, he finally found a trick. Using his spiritual will to imitate the sound of hum was difficult. He had to use the power of the Buddha aperture to unleash its power. How to open the Buddha aperture? From the Buddha's point of view, one had to have the Buddha root or become a Buddhist disciple to open the Buddha aperture. Yang Wu had opened the ultimate circulation. All the tricks were different. His celestial spirit aperture had the Buddha root and could comprehend the nature of Buddha. He sat cross-legged like an ancient monk and said in his heart, my heart is Buddha, and Buddha is in my heart. He calmed his heart like an old monk. He slightly opened his mouth, and a hum sound came out. The people on the battleship were caught off guard. Their souls were almost shattered by this sound. Qing Feng blocked the power of the hum sound so that it wouldn't hurt anyone. The sound spread out in all directions. Some of the big birds that were flying over were affected and fell from the sky. The Buddha's voice was faintly discernible and boundless. After Yang Wu grasped the trick, he continuously made the hum sound. He waited until the battle spirit's power was exhausted before he stopped. Yang Wu opened his eyes and muttered, did you grasp it? Father, you almost killed me. Yang Jinlong covered his ears and said, Bai Luoyun said weakly, Lord, when you cultivate in the future, stay away from us. You are too scary. Lord is a heavenly talent. You have learned the Buddha's mantra. This is truly worthy of celebration. Hong Mo flattered. Fei Hu said seriously from the side, Lord, in the hidden sky realm, you must not casually use the Buddha's voice. Yang Wu looked at Fei Hu in surprise and asked why. Who in the world doesn't know that the hidden sky realm is the origin of Buddhism? Even the Shaolin temple of Mount Song came from here. With the Tianli temple and the evil Buddha temple, the Shaolin temple can't compare. The phrase, all the martial arts in the world come from the Shaolin temple, is a joke in their eyes. They are the ones who have the supreme inheritance. If anyone learns the Buddha's mantra and isn't a disciple of Buddhism, they will be killed. Fei Hu said, no way. Isn't Buddhism the most benevolent and forgiving? Yang Wu said in shock, ha, if the Yuzhou temple represents benevolence, then the hidden sky realm's Buddhism represents evil. As long as they think something is wrong, everything is evil. Fei Hu coldly laughed. Hong Mo said from the side, the Tianli temple represents the supreme of Buddhism. Their followers are all over the hidden sky realm. They still flatter the path of ultimate kindness and are praised by the common people of hidden sky realm. It is the evil Buddha temple that has ruined the reputation of Buddhism. The Tianli temple not only represents kindness, but also evil. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a branch like the evil Buddha temple. Moreover, this branch rose to prominence in recent times and can stand shoulder to shoulder with them. Fei Hu retorted. Yang Wu interrupted them and said, according to what you're saying, the people here can't casually learn the Buddha's mantra? That's not it. It's just that once you learn the Buddha's mantra, you have to become their follower and listen to their commands. You have to follow their rules. Otherwise, you will be seen as a Buddha rebel, and it will be very difficult for you to leave the hidden sky realm alive. Fei Hu replied. Yang Wu finally understood. If he learned the Buddha's mantra, it was equivalent to putting on the golden hoop curse. Once it was exposed, he would be taken care of by the Buddhists. It would not be so easy for him to regain his freedom. What a tyrannical Buddha! Yang Wu sighed softly. He paused for a moment and looked into the distance. Whoever makes me uncomfortable, I will be uncomfortable with them. Amitabha. Unknowingly, they finally arrived at the first city of the hidden sky realm, Beulah City. This was a city that looked very exotic. The city walls were made of yellow earth and were not very high. Any martial artist could step over them. Everyone was wearing strange clothes. They wore big hats on their heads, carried bamboo baskets on their backs, and led cows and horses on their hands. Their simple smiles gave people a feeling of being approachable. After Yang Wu's group arrived here, they felt as if they had come to another country and felt the charm of a different civilization. So this is the hidden sky realm. It feels pretty good, Yang Wu said with emotion. Yes, most of the Tibetan people are very kind and simple. Only those who have been poisoned are dangerous. Fei Hu said from the side. Fei Hu was born in the hidden sky realm, so he was very familiar with everything here. He loved this piece of land, but at the same time, he hated it. No one was more conflicted than him. Just as Yang Wu's group was heading towards the spatial door in the city, a commotion arose. A group of bandits riding on Hummers with their faces covered rushed out of nowhere and brutally massacred the citizens of the city. Chapter 807. The sudden massacre caught everyone off guard. The citizens were killed one by one, scaring them into fleeing in panic, screaming again and again. There weren't many of these horsemen, only about a dozen of them. They charged into the streets and killed everyone they saw. They were simply lunatics. You lowly people, go to hell. What's the point of living in this world? Anyone who dares to go against our rule will die. Living Buddhas are nothing to them. You are all stupid people who have been corrupted by evil Buddhas. Only the moon worship cult is the orthodox force of this land. Hurry up and worship us, or you will all die. You villains, you won't have a good death. The Buddha will punish your descendants. A citizen shouted. As soon as his voice fell, he was cut in half by a saber, and his blood spilled all over the ground. Mom! Mom! A little girl holding a candied hawthorn was scared to tears by this scene. She couldn't find her parents and could be trampled to death at any time in this chaotic street. A bandit rushed over, raised his horse's hoof high, and stomped down on the little girl. The bandit grinned and said, I'll send you to see your mother. These guys were devoid of humanity and didn't even let a child go. Bastard! Yang Wu couldn't help but curse. His figure was like an arrow released from a bow. In an instant, he appeared in front of the little girl and punched the horse's abdomen. Bang! The savage horse was blown up by the punch, and its blood spilled all over the ground. The bandit sitting on the horse was also sent flying by the powerful force. Yang Wu picked up the little girl and said softly, "Don't cry. Big brother will help you find your mother." Not far away, a middle-aged woman with a bamboo basket on her back ran over and anxiously shouted, "Nan, Nan, Nan, Nan." Just as Yang Wu's eyes fell on the middle-aged woman, a savage horse fiercely crashed into her like a mountain. Bang! The middle-aged woman's body flew out like a broken zither. Savage Horse was a powerful horse demon king. The middle-aged woman was just an ordinary commoner. How could she withstand its impact? When she fell to the ground, she was already bleeding from her 7 orifices. Her white eyes looked in the direction of the little girl. She died with her eyes wide open. "Mommy! Mommy!" The little girl happened to see this scene. She didn't know that her mother had died. She just felt sorry for her mother who had fallen and bled. She wanted to run over and hug her mother. "Kill all these beasts," Yang Wu ordered with boundless killing intent. "My lord, you can't do that. They are followers of the moon-worship demonic sect," Fei Hu said. "If you don't kill them, I'll kill you." Yang Wu looked at Flying Tiger with a murderous gaze. As soon as Flying Tiger met Yang Wu's gaze, his body quivered. He didn't dare to speak any more nonsense and hurriedly charged towards the bandits. White Hair She-Devil by Luo Yun and Yang Zhenlong had already made their move when Yang Wu gave the order. These bandits weren't strong in their eyes. Killing them was as easy as flipping a hand. There was a bandit leader near Yang Wu. He raised his scimitar and shouted at Yang Wu, "Those who offend the moon-worship demonic sect must die." He waved his scimitar at Yang Wu. Before the scimitar could reach Yang Wu's head, a palm energy fell from the top of his head and turned him into a pile of blood. "Kill them all." White Hair She-Devil appeared beside Yang Wu and said indifferently. Yang Wu didn't pay attention to White Hair She-Devil. He held the crying little girl in his arms. He was very sad. He was a filial person. His parents were the people he respected the most. When his parents were humiliated, he was more angry than anyone else. Now, this little girl was only 5 or 6 years old. Seeing her mother die in front of her eyes was a painful thing. He could empathize with her. "Big brother, I'll take you to see your mother." Yang Wu held the little girl and came in front of the dead woman. The little girl threw herself on the dead woman. She kept crying, wanting to wake her mother up. Unfortunately, she couldn't wake up. "Mother, Nan is scared. Can you wake up?" "Mother, do you like Nan? Why are you ignoring Nan? Mother, I won't run around anymore. I'll give you candied haws." "Mother, wake up." The little girl couldn't stop crying. She realized that her mother would never wake up. Yang Wu's eyes were wet. He hadn't shed a single tear for a long time. Over the years, he had treated his enemies coldly. He had already seen through life and death. But when he saw the little girl like this, he realized that his heart wasn't cold. That touch of warmth was hidden in the deepest part of his heart. Cries kept coming from all around. The dead woman wasn't the only one. "My lord, let's go. This kind of thing happens all the time." Fei Hu came to Yang Wu's side and tried to persuade him. Before he could finish, a palm slapped his face. "Slap. Do you think you can treat people's lives like grass? Do you think you can look down on all this indifferently? If you dare to talk nonsense again, I'll kill you right now." Yang Wu glared at Fei Hu and shouted. Fei Hu covered his burning face and didn't say anything else. He muttered in his heart, "Mother of *Cur, why are you pretending to be a saint? Offending the moon-worship demonic sect is a dead end." The demonic sect of the moon-worship demonic sect was located in the Dianxi Lake boundary. Bula City was located at the border of Tiansong, close to the Dianxi Lake boundary. It was an extremely chaotic border city. In such a place, there would usually be many forces infiltrating and trying to control the territory here. At this time, a group of people hurried over. "Where are the disciples of the moon-worship demonic sect? How dare you behave so atrociously in our city? Get out of my way, you lowly people." Do you want to die? An annoying voice sounded. It was a young man. He was sitting in a sedan carried by 8 people. There were 2 sexy maids on his left and right. The scene was extremely erotic. There were dozens of guards on both sides of the sedan, each holding different weapons. They looked like they were here to help. When the surrounding citizens saw these people, they avoided them as if they were nothing more than bandits. Yang Wu's group was in the middle of the road. The little girl was crying on the woman's body, blocking the path of the young man. The young man's guards looked at them with contempt, then pulled out their weapons and pointed at Yang Wu's group. Are you the disciples of the moon-worship demonic sect? Hong Imo stepped forward and said with a faint smile, We are not. We just killed a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect. You dare to kill a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect? The young man on the sedan shouted. Why wouldn't we? Hong Imo sneered. They were raiders. There was nothing they wouldn't do. He wasn't as cowardly as Fei Hu. He felt that Yang Wu wasn't an idiot. He knew that the young man was from a moon-worship demonic sect, but he still dared to kill a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect. Moreover, he was protected by a saint at all times. His background must be extraordinary. He should be the successor of one of the major forces. Offending the moon-worship demonic sect was nothing. You outsiders, do you want to die? The young man suddenly shouted. What do you mean? Hong Imo didn't understand. What do I mean? You are all going to die with these people of the moon-worship demonic sect. Since you killed them, the masters of the moon-worship demonic sect will kill all of us here. So, you will die with them to quench the anger of the masters of the moon-worship demonic sect. The young man said with a cold expression. The next moment, he waved to the people around him and said, Kill them. His subordinates quickly rushed out and killed Yang Wu and the others. These people really didn't need to distinguish right from wrong. They didn't care if the other party was a good person or a bad person. Everything depended on their definition. How dare you? We even killed a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect. You are nothing. Hong Imo shouted and spread out his palms. 2 palm prints slapped towards the people who rushed over. Bang! These people were slapped into a bloody pulp. They couldn't withstand a single blow. The young man, sitting in the palanquin, was terrified. He shouted, Go, go, they're a group of lunatics. The young man was only the young governor of this city. He was used to abusing others. Once he encountered a tough opponent, he didn't dare to fight to the death. He was afraid that he would lose his life here. It's too late to think about leaving now. The Red Devil was not a kind person. He rushed towards the young man. Wherever he passed, people would be slapped to death. These people were too weak. The strongest was only in the heaven realm. How could they compete with him? In an instant, Hong Imo appeared on the young man's palanquin. The young man and the 2 women beside him screamed in fear. No, don't kill me. I'm the young governor. The young man said in horror. Hong Imo didn't say anything. He grabbed the young man and rushed back to Yang Wu's position. My lord, what should we do with him? Hong Imo asked Yang Wu. Kill him. Yang Wu didn't even look at the young man and ordered mercilessly. What was the use of people who killed people without knowing what was right and wrong? You can't kill me. I am the young governor. You will be hunted down. The young man was so scared that he peed his pants. Young governor. So what if the governor is here? Hong Imo asked. Just as he was about to kill the young man, a voice suddenly rang out, Have mercy. A figure flew over with the wind. Behind him were more than 10 people. Every one of them was in the dragon transformation realm. When the young man saw them, he cried, Father, save me. Father, save me. They want to kill me. Hong Imo looked at these people without any fear on his face. With this lineup, they could do whatever they wanted in this city. I am Abdeso, the governor of Beulah City. Greetings, everyone. After the middle-aged man in the lead landed, he bowed slightly to Yang Wu's group. Hong Imo didn't say anything. At this point, it was better to let his lord make the decision. Yang Wu turned to Abdeso and said, Your son wants to kill us. Chapter 808. Abdeso was a middle-aged man. He wasn't tall, but his skin was dark. He wore a cloth hat and patterned clothes, which were typical of the Tianzong people. I apologize on his behalf. He's just a spoiled child. Abdeso said sincerely to Yang Wu. Yang Wu saw the sincerity in Abdeso's eyes and waved his hand, signaling Hong Mo to release the young man. The young man scrambled back to Abdeso's side and said, "Father, they want to kill." Slap. Before he could finish his sentence, Abdeso slapped him hard across the face, stunning him. "I called you here to kill the people of the moon worship sect. What have you done?" Abdeso reprimanded. After a pause, he continued, "These are all our people. They killed our people, so we have to kill them all. These people saved our people, so they are our benefactors. You still dare to use a knife on them. If you weren't my son, I would have killed you right now." Abdeso was very dignified and didn't seem to be faking it. He gave off a righteous feeling. The surrounding people couldn't help but cheer. "City Lord Abdeso is mighty. City Lord Abdeso is mighty." Cheers rang out continuously. It was obvious that Abdeso had a high prestige in the city. Yang Wu ignored this. He turned around and picked up the girl who had fainted from crying. He said to Bai Luoyun, "Find a place to bury her mother." "Yes, master," Bai Luoyun replied, and put the corpse away in the cosmos shell. "Let's go." Yang Wu took the girl and called out to his companions behind him. Abdeso spoke again. "Brave warriors, you helped us get rid of the moon worship sect's disciples. You are our benefactors. Please allow me to express our respect on behalf of all the people in the city. Would you like to come to my residence for a gathering?" Yang Wu shook his head. "We were just passing by. We couldn't stand watching them kill people. There's no need for us to do anything else." Abdeso frowned. "Then we won't disturb you anymore. Please be careful of the moon worship sect's revenge." Yang Wu nodded and asked, "Where's the spatial gate in your city?" Abdeso raised his thick eyebrows and said, "The moon worship cult has been in trouble recently, so the space gate is temporarily closed. You can go to another city and borrow a passage." Yang Wu frowned and said, "Can't you make an exception?" "Of course. If they're our friends, we'll definitely make an exception," Abdeso replied. Yang Wu pondered for a moment before saying, "All right, then let's go to your residence for a gathering." "Haha, that's what good friends should be like. I, Abdeso, welcome you on behalf of my people." Abdeso laughed loudly. Thus, under the lead of Abdeser and the others, they headed to the City Lord's mansion. The City Lord's mansion was not as luxurious as the mansions in the cities of other domains. It was just a mud house that was slightly larger than the other commoners' mansions. The interior of the house was also simply furnished, making it look slightly shabby. Yang Wu wondered if Abdeso was really the City Lord. Why would he live in such a shabby place? Abdeso seemed to have seen through Yang Wu's doubts. He said, "We Tibetans are all simple people. We're not used to being extravagant like you people of the Central Plains, so we're not particular about where we live. Besides, there are frequent storms in our land, so wooden houses can't accommodate people at all." Yang Wu smiled faintly and replied, "I was ignorant. That's what all outsiders think," Abdeso said. Abdeso said. He clapped his hands, and a servant brought in a few jars of wine and roasted mutton. He made an inviting gesture and said, "Come, come, let's drink this wine and eat this meat. We'll be good friends." The people around Abdeso hurriedly filled everyone's large bowls with wine. The fragrance of the wine filled the air, making one's mouth water. Yang Wu did not know what Abdeso was planning, so he clinked glasses with the other party. This was Tian Song's green fruit wine, a fruit wine made from dozens of herbs. Not only did it have the flavor of fragrant fruits, but it also had the stimulating taste of strong liquor. The taste was spicy and sour when it entered the throat. It was not something ordinary people could drink. Bai Luoyun almost spat out the mouthful he took, but the white-haired demoness patted him on the back. Only then did he swallow the wine back down. "Wow, this wine is so strong," Bai Luoyun said, sticking out his tongue. "Haha, this wine represents our hospitality. If you're not a good friend, we won't let you drink it." Abdeso laughed loudly. He then looked at Yang Wu and said, "Young master, are you still suspecting that I have ulterior motives?" Without waiting for Yang Wu's reply, he continued, "I won't hide it from you. The people under our rule are simple and lovely. They are content with the status quo and have lost the will to improve themselves. Every time the moon worship cult's disciples suddenly attack, few people dare to stand up and resist. I'm very grateful that you were willing to lend a hand. Who would have thought that my unfilial son would dare to make a move against you? He's really stupid. Yang Wu nodded. So, you're treating us warmly in the hopes that more people will resist these villains in the future. Abdeso gave a thumbs up. That's right. I want them to become stronger. When it's time to act, there's no need to hesitate. The moon worship cult is nothing. Our Tianli temple is the true representative of this place. They're a cult. Then when do you plan on letting us leave? Yang Wu asked. As long as you promise me not to rob my citizens, I can let you leave. Abdeso glanced at Flying Tiger, Red Devil, and the others. Yang Wu was enlightened. It turned out that Abdeso thought they were raiders, which was why he deliberately made things difficult for them. However, he didn't dare to offend them too much and only wanted to know their movements. We're not raiders. We're just passing by. City Lord, you're overthinking things. Yang Wu explained. He then pointed at Flying Tiger and Hong Mo, their followers that I took along the way. They've already put down their weapons and followed me to become Buddhas. They won't rob without help. City Lord Abdeso, we are indeed the Lord's followers. Hong Mo echoed. Abdeso was shocked. Flying Tiger, Red Devil, and the other marauders were famous on their side. It was hard for him to believe that this young man had subdued them as his followers. After Abdeso recovered, he raised his bowl and laughed. Haha, I was overthinking things. Since that's the case, I'll send you off after this meal. Yang Wu had everyone relax. He ate and drank with Abdeso before heading to the space gate and teleporting to the next city. Before Yang Wu's group left, Abdeso gave Yang Wu a lot of green fruit wine and some dried mutton. He also gave Yang Wu a map of the Hidden Heaven realm. This map would be of great use to Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't expect that as soon as they left Beulah City, the moon worship demonic sect would massacre this place. Abdeso died in battle. Even until his death, he didn't tell the demonic sect who killed their disciples. He was a true man. For the next half a month, Yang Wu made his way through different cities, heading towards the westernmost edge of the Hidden Heaven realm, Sky Domain City. Sky Domain City used to be the second city of the Heavenly Palace, second only to the floating Heavenly Palace City. But after the city was sunk by a Jade Moon Master, it became the largest city in the Hidden Heaven realm. The city lord of Sky Domain City was also an amazing character. Rumor had it that he was a disciple in name of the Heavenly Palace. There were also rumors that he was a disciple of the Heavenly Palace and a disciple of the Tianli Temple. He was a master of the Heavenly Palace. Even after the destruction of the Heavenly Palace, this city still stood strong. Various factions occupied this place. Tianli Temple, Evil Buddhist Temple, Moon Worship Demonic Sect, Kunlun, 100 Flower Sect, and other major factions had built strongholds here. These factions had a tacit understanding. They didn't cause trouble here and just quietly seized resources. Sky Domain City was close to the largest Sky Domain mountain range. There were countless treasures here, even Xiantian treasures. Someone once obtained a Xiantian snow lotus and broke through to the Saint realm, reaching the connecting heaven realm. Yang Wu and the others rushed here. They were really close to the ruins of the Heavenly Palace. The weather here was extremely cold. Ordinary people couldn't bear it. Even kings had to wear more clothes. Only warriors of the Heavenly Fish realm could withstand the cold and not be affected. But in a real battle, it was inevitable that they would lose 10 to 20%. Only warriors who cultivated ice water, Xian Qi, could adapt to the cold. The northwest wind whistled and the cold snow fell. Looking from afar, it was a vast expanse of white, dotted with sparkling and translucent snowflakes. While it was beautiful, it also felt somewhat desolate. This place is really cold. Bai Luoyan sighed. Yes, I think so too. Yang Jinlong nodded. We've already come to the border of the realm. Of course it's colder. Yang Wu said. He paused and said, in this environment, some powerful warriors can be trained. It's an excellent place to cultivate. Hong Ying said, my lord is right. The further northwest we go, the stronger the Tibetans. A small head poked out of Yang Wu's arms and said weakly, are they bad people? This was the little girl Nan Nan that Yang Wu had picked up. He had wanted to leave her in one of the commoners' homes, but the little girl was too traumatized and only wanted to interact with Yang Wu. Ever since Yang Wu took her with him, she had never left his side. He couldn't bear to leave her and could only take her with him. Besides, he also felt that Nan Nan was very pitiful. She only had one brother, so he might as well raise her as a sister. In the future, it wouldn't be difficult to take her into the Yang family and raise her. Hong Ying didn't know how to respond to her question. White-haired demoness said, "There are good people and bad people. When you grow up in the future, you'll be able to distinguish who is good and who is bad. I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be a good person. I want to kill all the bad people and avenge my mother." The little girl said with a different look in her eyes from her peers. This was the vow of the future demoness. Chapter 809. Heaven Domain City, a giant city covered in white. Although this place wasn't as old as War God City, it was still one of the few famous cities in the world. Together with White Mountain City, this place was known as the Medicine Capital City. This meant that there were countless herbs in this city. They were all picked from the Heaven Domain mountain range. There were countless ordinary herbs and spirit medicines. Just by digging into the old forest, one would be able to find spirit medicines of extraordinary value. King medicines and heaven medicines were also very common. Little sacred medicines and saint medicines could also be found. It was because of this that there were many factions in Heaven Domain Snow City. They formed teams and entered Heaven Domain City to search for herbs or buy them for a long time. The prices here were much cheaper than other places. After Yang Wu's group entered the city, they looked at the various herbs on the left and right sides of the streets. Their eyes lit up. Many herbs that were rarely seen in other places seemed to be common here. "Lord, this place has the water scale grass that my water clan needs the most." Bai Luoyun pointed at the herbs hanging in a shop and called out in surprise. On the other side, Yang Jinlong was also drooling as he said, "I think I saw the dragon tongue grass. I really want to eat it." Yang Wu ignored them and rubbed Nanan's head as he said, "Nan Nan, what do you want to eat?" I want to eat roasted sweet potatoes." Little Nan Nan said weakly. "All right, Big Brother will buy it for you," Yang Wu said dotingly. Very quickly, he saw a vendor selling roasted sweet potatoes. He bought a large sweet potato for little Nan Nan and ate one himself. He said to the others, "Do you guys want some? It's very fragrant." In this kind of cold place, eating a hot roasted sweet potato was very comfortable. This was something that commoners ate, so the others weren't interested. However, the white-haired demoness also asked for one. She gently peeled it and ate it. Her beautiful eyes flashed with a trace of nostalgia. Once upon a time, she had also eaten roasted sweet potatoes like little Nan Nan. Yang Wu and his group found a luxurious hotel to stay in. He handed a universe ring to white-haired demoness and said, "Take them out to purchase a batch of medicinal herbs. I've already made a list. As for the rest that aren't listed, if you see any suitable ones, you can buy them together. If you don't have enough Xian spirit stones, you can use medicinal pills to exchange." White-haired demoness nodded and brought the others out to purchase herbs. Yang Wu released little Nan Nan and stroked her head, saying, "You'll have a hard time with your big brother in the future. Are you scared?" Little Nan Nan blinked her big eyes and said, "Don't be afraid. Big brother is a good person. It's hard to say if my brother is a good person, but he won't hurt little Nan Nan." Yang Wu laughed. He paused for a moment and said, "It's cold here. Your small body can't stand it. Brother wants you to practice martial arts. It can strengthen your body and you won't be bullied in the future. What do you think?" "Okay, I'll practice martial arts. I won't be bullied in the future." Little Nan Nan nodded firmly. She paused for a moment and added, "I won't let bad people bully Big Brother either." "Haha, that's the best. Then Big Brother will make some medicinal liquid for you to cleanse your body. That way, you'll be able to cultivate with twice the result with half the effort." "I'll listen to Big Brother." The medicinal liquid that Yang Wu made was of extraordinary value. It was very effective for children. He was prepared to lay the best foundation for little Nan Nan and teach her the cultivation method of the extreme circulatory cycle. Whether she could succeed or not depended on her perseverance and talent. Yang Wu had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm and was qualified to be a teacher. He first examined little Nanan's muscles and bones and found that her body was very good. Her muscles and bones were malleable. As for her talent, he couldn't find it for the time being. Based on his feelings, she was a very intelligent child. She had seen her mother die in front of her with her own eyes. Her spirit seemed to have been enlightened. Perhaps she already had a special talent, but there was no way to find it for the time being. After Yang Wu boiled the medicinal liquid, he put little Nanan in it. The power of the medicinal liquid was relatively mild. After soaking in it 7 times, it could build the foundation of her body. When she cultivated her strength, she would be faster than others. Yang Wu thought to himself, if only little He was here, she could teach little Nanan well. Thinking about it, he hadn't seen little He for nearly a year. He didn't know where it had been transmitted to. It should not have been stewed by others. After wandering around outside for a day, white-haired Demonis and the others finally returned to the restaurant again. Yang Wu took the Ring of Universe she gave him and found a large number of herbs. Each of them was extremely strong, which was exactly what he needed to refine elixirs. As expected of the medicine capital, you can really find all kinds of herbs. Yang Wu sighed. Yes. We even saw some saint medicines. It's a pity we can't trade for them for now. Bai Luoyun nodded. There are some saint medicines that Aunt Yin-Chi wants. Yang Jinlong said from his side. Don't speak nonsense. White-haired Demonis glared at Yang Jinlong and said, I'm not speaking nonsense. Yang Jinlong weakly replied. Yang Wu said, who wouldn't be moved by a saint object? We can't trade for it for now, but that doesn't mean we can't trade for it in the future. In the future, there will be a lot of people coming to our door. Don't worry. Following that, he gave him a few more missions. He wanted them to find out the situation of the Heaven Domain mountain range in 3 days and find out where the Heavenly Palace ruins were. After 3 days, he would enter the Heaven Domain mountain range. Following that, he went to the restaurant and asked for a closed-door cultivation room. He prepared to refine a batch of elixirs for the journey. In this kind of large city, many restaurants opened up closed-door cultivation rooms for cultivators to cultivate. The Heaven Realm closed-door cultivation room is 100 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The Dragon Transformation Realm closed-door cultivation room is 1,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The Saint Realm closed-door cultivation room is 10,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. Which closed-door cultivation room would you like to choose? The restaurant's waiter introduced. When Yang Wu heard this price, his face twitched slightly. Even though he had a lot of wealth, he still felt that this price was abnormally high. Ordinary people couldn't afford it all. However, since they were doing business, they had to make a profit. Moreover, they even had a Saint Realm closed-door cultivation room. It was enough to show how powerful the force behind this restaurant was. Is there a closed-door cultivation room for alchemists? Yang Wu asked. Yes. The Heaven Alchemist closed-door cultivation room is 500 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The Little Saint Alchemist closed-door cultivation room is 3,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The waiter introduced again. The price is so high, it can't be helped. Honorable alchemists are so rich that they take advantage of others. Moreover, the environment they need is better. It's normal for us to charge a little more. All right, open a Little Saint Alchemist closed-door cultivation room for me. I need to use it for 2 days. Young master, are you sure you want to open a Little Saint Alchemist closed-door cultivation room? Take the 6,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones. All right, I'll get it done for you right away. The 6,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones that Yang Wu paid were very valuable. When he stepped into the closed-door cultivation room, he felt that the Xian Qi of heaven and earth here was much denser than outside. Moreover, it was completely isolated from the outside world. There was a high-grade alchemy cauldron and a formation that blocked out heavenly lightning. It was an excellent alchemy room. Yang Wu said to himself in satisfaction, how thoughtful. Yang Wu didn't want to stay here for too long. He quickly entered a state of alchemy. He needed different pills to deal with different emergencies. He also planned to use the pills to trade for higher-grade items. Moreover, he also had to consider the needs of his followers. Bai Luoyun and Yang Jinlong had to be prepared to become small saints at any time. The most important thing was to help white-haired Demonis break through to the Star Rune realm. He had some pills that could help white-haired Demonis refine her body and strengthen her body. Also, her soul needed to be strengthened before she could break through to the Star Rune realm. In addition, he would inevitably encounter some obstacles after entering the Heaven Domain mountain range. He definitely didn't believe that Cheap Master would let him reach the Heavenly Palace ruins so easily. 2 days was enough for Yang Wu to refine a batch of high-grade pills. 2 days later, he came out of closed-door cultivation and heard the news from Flying Tiger, Hong, Mo, Hong Ying, and the others. It was suspected that a Xiantian cardinal treasure had appeared in the depths of the Heaven Domain mountain range. Innate treasures were divine items that grew from the heavens. They were even stronger than ordinary saint weapons. Even the most powerful people would covet them. The location where the innate treasures appeared seemed to be the Heavenly Palace ruins. There were remnants of the Heavenly Palace's formations there. It was incomparably dangerous. Even saints could die there. Even the most powerful people wouldn't be able to break through it easily. That place was incomparably strange. The terrifying killing formation targeted saints and not those below the saint realm. It was unknown whether it was controlled by someone or caused by the appearance of an innate treasure. Groups and groups of people quickly rushed there. Currently, the innate treasures hadn't been found, but there were many bad news. Many people had died in the Heaven Domain mountain range. It had already become the territory of the Icemen, Snow Wolves, and Ice Bears. There were also all kinds of fierce beasts. If one rashly entered, they would become their enemy. Currently, there were already people in the city calling for the younger generation of the major powers to join forces and enter together. They believed that this was a sign that the Heavenly Palace ruins were about to open. Perhaps they could use this opportunity to find the Heavenly Palace ruins and obtain the shocking inheritance. Although the Heavenly Palace was destroyed, its prestige still remained. The destruction of the Heavenly Palace was a mystery. There were many different theories, but no one had come to a final conclusion. No one had found the true inheritance of the Heavenly Palace. Due to the appearance of Khanate supreme treasures and the preparation of the Heavenly Palace ruins, a large number of forces were attracted to explore. After Yang Wu heard this news, he felt that his whole person was not good. He planned to keep a low profile and search for the Heavenly Palace ruins, but the sudden news made it clear that it wouldn't be easy to find the Heavenly Palace ruins. This can't be a smokescreen made by Cheap Master, right? Yang Wu muttered to himself. My lord, I heard that the Tianli Temple, Longevity Hall, Purple Firmament Hall, and Kunlun have all sent their geniuses here. There are people vying for the position of young leader. I think the position belongs to you, my lord. Hong, Mo flattered. Purple Firmament Hall. Chapter 810. Sky Domain City. It was livelier than usual these days. The people coming and going added warmth to the cold city. Many valiant troops appeared one after another from the space gate. Some rode ancient war chariots, some rode shuttles, and some rode powerful war horses. Most of these people were the saints, saintesses, and young masters of the younger generation. They were all top prodigies who had the potential to become saints. They were all followed by powerful guardians. These prodigies of the younger generation would participate in the Heavenly Dragon and Heavenly Phoenix rankings soon. When they heard that a Khanate cardinal treasure had appeared, they all rushed over to see if they had the opportunity to obtain it. Once they obtained a Khanate cardinal treasure, they would definitely be the top of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. These peerless prodigies came from various major factions. They cultivated ancient techniques and had the best battle constitutions. At a young age, they had already surpassed their peers and caught up with their seniors. They also had the potential to quickly surpass them. All the major factions and prodigies formed teams to go to the depths of the Sky Domain mountain range together to search for the Khanate cardinal treasure. It would be best if they could find the Heavenly Palace ruins and obtain more opportunities. The Buddha of Tianli Temple appeared and taught the prodigies. After listening to his teachings, many prodigies voluntarily shaved their heads and became his followers. The evil Buddha of Evil Buddha Temple also appeared and taught the same thing. Many prodigies of other races also became his followers. The young Hall King of a mortal palace came with great momentum. Naturally, many prodigies were willing to form a team with him. The Saintess of Purple Cloud Palace was outstanding and never lacked powerful followers. These prodigies formed their own teams and formed several very powerful factions. No one was willing to submit to anyone. On this day, they decided to choose 3 leaders to lead them to the Sky Domain mountain range. The selection of leaders this time was not only a competition of the factions behind each prodigy, but also a competition of their combat power and leadership ability. If they couldn't convince them, how could they command them? At the Saint Dojo in the center of Sky Domain City. This was the Saint Dojo set up by the Sky Domain. It was protected by a formation. Even if saints fought fiercely here, they wouldn't be able to damage the dojo. Many prodigies gathered here. In addition to each prodigy standing proudly, there were many followers. At a glance, there were at least 10 to 20,000 people. With such momentum, it was clear that they attached great importance to this matter. After all, apart from these young geniuses, there were many other powerful forces, itinerant cultivators, and alien races who would fight for the Khanate cardinal treasures. Amiba, my Tianli temple is the host, so I should lead the way. I am willing to accept the position of leader. A young monk with a dignified appearance and an awe-inspiring Buddhist energy placed his palms together and said. His voice was majestic and ethereal in the sacred Tao ground. Everyone could see it. It was as if they were watching a young bodhisattva discussing scriptures with the other Buddhas. The formless Buddha Chi emitted was torturous. Suddenly, another Buddhist voice rang out. My Buddhist teachings are boundless and can guide all living things. I am willing to lead you through all kinds of demonic obstacles and see the Khanate treasure. This Buddhist voice was completely different from the voice of the Arhat from before. This voice was filled with a domineering aura, without any hint of modesty. A ferocious Buddha image appeared in the sky. It did not have the slightest bit of Buddhist aura. It was more like a demon, an evil creature. The 2 bodhisattvas sat cross-legged in opposite directions. They didn't need any external help to sit cross-legged in the air. This ability wasn't something that just anyone could have. There were many people following the 2 bodhisattvas. Many of them were prodigies who had just shaved their heads. They also had some followers following them. The Arhat of Tianli Temple closed his eyes and chanted. Buddhist talismans flew into the air. Each talisman contained extraordinary power and suppressed the Arhat of Evil Buddha Temple. Evil Arhat had a cold smile on his face. He pinched his lotus fingers, and Buddhist talismans flew out from his fingers. Each talisman carried a trace of dark gray color, representing the evil Buddhist Chi. They floated in the air. The Arhat of Tianli Temple chanted Buddhist scriptures that intertwined with each other. In an instant, a series of explosions rang out. Bang, bang. These 2 bodhisattvas were fighting from afar. Both of them wanted to be the leader. The tolerance of a monk was nowhere to be seen. Demons subduing scripture. Blue lotus seal. A Buddhist battle wasn't like other battles that used brute force. Instead, it depended on whose Buddhist power was stronger and whose was firmer. The one who could suppress the other would win. In the sacred Tao field, the sky was filled with Buddha talismans. One could faintly see 2 Buddha statues with completely different auras clashing. After half a day, Evil Fozi retracted his aura and said faintly, I'll let you move aside so that we won't delay the journey, even if we fight for 7 days and 7 nights. Everyone was watching. Indeed, no one thought that Evil Arhat had lost. No one thought that Tian Arhat had won either. It was just as Evil Arhat had said. If they continued to fight like this, they would only delay the journey. Tian Arhat put his palms together and said solemnly, If you don't fight, then fight. If you don't fight, then don't fight. A peerless prodigy stood up and said, Tian Arhat will take the leader's seat. I'm sure no one has any objections. I will take the 2nd seat. This peerless genius was clad in a suit of armor with a moon seal on it. A curved blade hung on his back. His eyes were filled with arrogance, as if he was looking down on all the heroes. This person was Hong Zheng, the holy son of the moon worship demonic sect. The moon worship demonic sect has crossed the line. How dare they be so arrogant? I'm not convinced. A young man in blue stood up and said. Having said that, he turned into a blue flood dragon and charged toward Hong Zheng, the holy son of the moon worship demonic sect. Hong Zheng sneered. I'll take your dog head with one slash. A shadow of moonlight floated, and the saber chi was faintly discernible. A bloody head was cut off. Who else wants to overestimate themselves? The holy prince of the moon worship demonic sect spoke as if he had done something insignificant. I, the sacred flame sect, will challenge you. Yin Fun, the holy prince of the sacred flame sect, shouted. Yin Fun's strength was much stronger than when he was in the broken space. The power he erupted with was quite strong. He fought fiercely with the holy prince of the moon worship demonic sect. At this time, Kunlun's holy prince Kuan Xian stood up and waved his palm leaf fan at the two fighting. Whoosh! A terrifying wind blew, and the power of the Xiantian realm swept in all directions. The other two holy princes were sent flying. I, Kunlun, will take the leader's seat, Kuan Xian announced domineeringly. This was the holy prince who had defeated Yang Wu before. In less than a year, he had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm and was only a step away from the dragon transformation realm. Brother Kuan Xian, I'll see if your palm leaf fan is really invincible. A peerless prodigy roared and charged towards Kuan Xian. In addition, other prodigies took the opportunity to rush out. They had begun to fight for the leader's seat, so they had to suppress the other prodigies and make them submit. Waves of explosive power rang out in the sacred training ground. Many prodigies used their strongest power from the beginning to suppress the other prodigies. Kuan Xian had a Xiantian item, and his palm leaf fan was invincible. Every time he waved his fan, a prodigy would be sent flying. On the other side, the young Hall King also finally appeared. As the young Hall King of the Longevity Hall, he was still very young, but his cultivation talent was extremely terrifying. He had already reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm. He had jumped several levels in a year, as expected of someone with outstanding cultivation talent. With his trump card, even a dragon transformation realm elite would not be his match. Sure enough, as soon as he entered the arena, he swept away a group of opponents. He looked like he had suppressed his peers. Most of these prodigies were around 30 years old. There was no one over 40 years old. They were all in the dragon transformation realm and were preparing to break through. Only by breaking through to the dragon transformation realm would they be qualified to participate in the Dragon Phoenix ranking battle. This trip to the Sky Domain mountain range was the best opportunity for them. The Battle Tribe's prodigies did not participate in this battle. The Battle Tribe guarded the Central Plains and suppressed a region to stop the demons from invading. They all had a unique advantage. They had just completed the trip to the God of War Pagoda and were all consolidating their strength. They did not participate in the battle between the prodigies of the major factions. If their prodigies participated, the battle would be even more intense. As many prodigies were killed, many prodigies consciously withdrew from the battlefield. The number of people gradually decreased. The young Hall King and Kuan Xian became the hot candidate for the second and third leader positions. At that moment, Lei Shuyang from the Purple Firmament Palace wielded the small sacred lightning hammer and attacked the young Hall King. He was much more mature than before. Without saying a word, he raised the small sacred thunder hammer and attacked continuously. The power of the hammer continued to fall, and the boundless lightning was controlled by him. His battle prowess had reached the dragon transformation realm. After being defeated in the broken space, he had returned to the Purple Firmament Palace and cultivated with all his might. The heavenly lightning physique displayed its terrifying talent. He had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm and was only one step away from successfully becoming a dragon transformation realm elite. He had challenged the young Hall King to make an oath. He had returned with a strong momentum. He would wash away the shame of his defeat one by one. Yang Wu, wait for me to defeat the young Hall King first. I will find you and trample you under my feet. Lei Shuyang shouted in his heart. The battle between Lei Shuyang and the young Hall King was very exciting. In the end, the young Hall King even released his sword pagoda, but was almost destroyed by Lei Shuyang's small sacred lightning hammer. Both of them were injured. Lei Shuyang had proven himself in this battle. Kuan Xian took advantage of the situation and swept the two of them out of the battlefield. The position of leader was within his reach. At this moment, two peerless girls entered the battlefield. One girl had purple hair and a perfect face that made people feel suffocated. Her petite figure was covered in a purple dress, and she was full of temptation. She was a fairy-like girl. The other girl was dressed in black and had a demonic butterfly hair accessory in her hair. Her eyes were filled with a mesmerizing light, and her bare feet were enough to make people drool. The Saint of the Purple Firmament Palace. The Saint of the Sky, Severing Sect. Chapter 8:11. Purple Yu versus Yuan Chenwen. These two saintesses were stunning, and their battle prowess was not inferior to any of the peerless geniuses. They didn't even waste time talking. They each turned into streaks of light and began to collide with each other. Purple Yu was born with heavenly thunder jade skin, which was even rarer than Lei Shuyang's heavenly thunder body. Her every move was filled with the power of thunder and lightning, forming a terrifying electromagnetic field, releasing a terrifying battle prowess. Even a mid-level dragon transformation realm cultivator would not dare to get close, and a beginner dragon transformation realm cultivator would die. This was the terrifying battle prowess of the Purple Firmament Palace's saintess. Someone praised, "Purple Fairy is really powerful. She's only in her 20s and already has such battle prowess. No wonder she's the saintess of the Purple Firmament Palace. She's even stronger than Lei Shuyang. If this continues, she'll soon enter the dragon transformation realm and become the saintess of her generation." The Saintess of the Sky, Severing Sect, is also powerful. Her sky-severing palm has been cultivated to perfection, and the power of thunder and lightning can even block it. She's really powerful. The Saintess of the Purple Firmament Palace is so beautiful. I like sexy beauties like Yuan Chenwen even more. Look at how strong her jade-like legs are when she kicks. If I can sleep with her just once, I'd be willing to lose 10 years of my life. Shut up. Do you want to die? How can I let you have all the fun? Zhou Xuan, will see what you're capable of. A ray of sword light cut through the air, heading towards the two women. A May Mountain saintess, Zhou Xuan, was also a rare beauty. After she joined the battle, a few other saintesses made their moves. They were all beautiful, and their battle prowess was shocking. They displayed all kinds of battle prowess, and no one could stand in front of them. In the sacred training ground, in a corner, a big beauty and a small beauty were observing the situation. Dear, do you see that? This is the battle prowess of the transcendent realm's younger generation. Your progress is far from theirs. The big beauty said sweetly to the small beauty beside her. The little beauty stared at the battlefield of the female geniuses and said, "They are indeed very strong. Even if I have a sound Dao talent, it's only a small Dao compared to them. However, I might not lose to them in the future. Hee, I knew you would have a bright future. You will fight for me in the future. Even if you can't become the saintess of our 100-flower sect, you will still become a heaven's pride, second only to the saintess." The beauty smiled proudly. After pausing for a moment, she sighed and said, "I wonder how that little brother of yours is doing. It's a pity that I can't bring him to the transcendent world. Otherwise, with that little guy's talent, he might be able to have a seat here. Now, he's a person from two different worlds. He won't fall behind." She paused for a moment before continuing. "The saintess of the Purple Firmament Hall seems to be his beloved woman. What kind of joke is this? That's the holy maiden of the Purple Sky Hall. How could she be someone he can come into contact with? I'm not joking. I've seen her before. I didn't expect her to change so much. She's worthy of being the woman that young Master likes. But if you continue to make up stories like this, Master will get angry." In another corner of the sacred training ground, an unremarkable man was leading a few people to watch everything that was happening. Aside from his eyes being a little more outstanding, this unremarkable man's appearance was very ordinary. However, he gave off an indescribable aura that made him seem very different. "Master, are you really not going to give it a try?" Behind him, a man from the water race asked. This man from the water race was none other than Bai Luoyan. This unremarkable man was Yang Wu. He had put on makeup, so no one could recognize his original appearance. Yang Wu didn't hear Bai Luoyan's words at all. His gaze was fixed on the fighting Ziyu. That was his slug. She had become stronger again. Several female heaven's prides attacked her at the same time. It was obvious that they wanted to force her out. Ziyu was still the most dazzling pearl among all these beauties. The other beauties besieged her because they were jealous of her, especially the saintess of Mount Amei. Zhou Zhishuan's attacks were the most ferocious. Her merciless sword broke through the electromagnetic field. She looked like she wanted to kill Ziyu to the end. In terms of combat strength, Zhou Zhishuan was inferior to Ziyu. However, when she teamed up with the others, she forced Ziyu to retreat again and again. Ziyu wasn't a ruthless person. She only forced her opponents back and didn't take their lives. That was why she gave the others a chance to fight. However, Zhou Zhishuan didn't think so. Every move she made was fatal. If one wasn't careful, they would die under her sword. On the other hand, the Saintess of the Sky Severing Sect, Yuan Chunwan, withdrew from the battle. It seemed like she didn't want to continue fighting. She looked in Yang Wu's direction. Her beautiful eyes shone with an inexplicable light. Yang Wu sensed something and looked in her direction. He couldn't help but smile. He said in a low voice, "Hello, beautiful." Yuan Chunwan frowned and looked away. It seemed that she didn't recognize Yang Wu. At this moment, Ziyu shouted, "Don't force me." She had been maintaining the electromagnetic field for a long time, which consumed a lot of energy. She only wanted the others to retreat. She didn't want to kill these people. "Admit defeat and leave," Zhou Zhishuan said coldly. Someone else said, "That's right. The position of leader doesn't belong to you." Ziyu hesitated. She wasn't interested in the position of leader at all. It was the people in the hall who wanted her to win a spot for the Purple Heaven Hall. That was why she came to fight for the limelight. While she was hesitating, Zhou Zhishuan took the opportunity and stabbed out with her sword. Her sword intent tore through the electromagnetic field and stabbed towards Ziyu's vitals. Ziyu reacted too late. She was ruthlessly stabbed. Fortunately, she had the protection of her armor. Otherwise, she would have been killed. This sword caused her to lose her guard. The other girls took advantage of the situation. Wave after wave of powerful energy rushed towards her. After a few rounds, she was forced to vomit blood and fly back. Zhou Zhishuan had cut her arms so deep that the bone could be seen. Zhou Zhishuan still had an unyielding look on her face. It was as if she had a life and death feud with Ziyu. Seeing Ziyu being forced into a desperate situation by several girls, a figure suddenly rushed in and shouted, several people ganging up on one person. "How shameless! This young master will teach you shameless women a lesson." In the battle for the leader, there was a clear distinction between men and women. Other than Tian Fozi, Kuan Xian was still fighting fiercely with the others. Logically speaking, if a man went down to challenge someone, he would look for Kuan Xian or someone else. He wouldn't interfere in a fight between women. But this man had barged into the battle of the female geniuses and disrupted the situation. The man who barged in was very fast. In 2 punches and 3 kicks, he sent the holy maidens flying. This guy was also very wretched. He kicked the holy maiden's buttocks. The others were jealous and wanted to rush up and kick him a few times. This guy was too ungentlemanly. Not only that, the man closed in on Zhou Zhishuan and raised his hand to slap her. Zhou Zhishuan didn't have time to react before her face was slapped. Slap! Slap! The crisp sound of slapping rang out. Zhou Zhishuan didn't know what to do. "You shameless woman! How can you be so ruthless to Ziyu? Are you jealous that she is prettier than you? What a vicious woman! She has been merciful to all of you. Didn't your teachers teach you how to be a good woman? You deserve a beating." As the man scolded, he slapped Zhou Zhishuan so hard that she couldn't fight back at all. The onlookers were heartbroken to see her swollen face. "What kind of hero are you to hit a woman? Wait for me to kill you." The Yin-Yang sect holy son shouted. He turned into a ray of light and charged at the man. He waved his Yin and Yang swords. The power of yin and yang contained an inexplicable power as he charged at Yangwu. This was a peerless genius who was on par with the young Hall King. He was young, but the talent he displayed far exceeded that of his peers. The power of the yin and yang swords was enough to kill a mid-level dragon transformation realm fighter. This kind of power was enough to make him look down on all the heroes. The onlookers thought that the man's arrogance had come to an end. Who would have thought that the ordinary-looking man would only take a step forward, and a domineering fist energy would be unleashed from him? Bam! The shocking punch instantly shattered the power of yin and yang. The yin-yang sect Holy Sun was also sent flying by the force of this punch. The yin-yang sect Holy Sun was also impressive. As he was sent flying, he was able to pull Zhou Zixuan away from the battlefield. Puff! The yin-yang sect Holy Sun spat out a mouthful of blood. He couldn't stabilize his body for a long time. A dragon transformation realm cultivator fighting for the leader's position. Shameless. Someone cursed angrily. He must be a small saint. We must strip him of his right to be the leader. Someone joined in the commotion. The yin-yang sect Holy Sun was on par with the young Hall King. He represented one of the strongest heavenly fish realm cultivators. Since he was sent flying by a single punch, everyone thought that the man was a dragon transformation realm cultivator. The ordinary-looking man stood proudly in the field and smiled faintly. Who said I'm a dragon transformation realm cultivator? Come out and take a few steps. This ordinary-looking man was none other than Yangwu. He released the power of his realm without any concealment. There was no sign of the dragon transformation realm at all. He was still in the heavenly fish realm. An old voice sounded. He's a heavenly fish realm cultivator. This was the voice of Saint. It was hard for the onlookers not to believe it. Who is he? He defeated the yin-yang sect Holy Sun with one punch. This can't be true, right? He looks so ordinary. Could he be the heir of an ancient family? Maybe he used a forbidden technique. Who can challenge him again and defeat him? He stood up for Purple Fairy. Maybe Purple Fairy knows him. The onlookers were in an uproar. They didn't know the man in front of them and were full of curiosity. Ziyu looked at the familiar figure and asked, "Who are you?" Yangwu turned around and looked at Ziyu. In a gentle voice, he said, "I am Wu Yang." Chapter 8:12. Wu Yang. Anyone who was familiar with Yangwu would know that this name was related to him. Yu did not become excited because of this. She had a look of suspicion on her face as she carefully tried to see how this person was similar to Yangwu. Before she could recognize Yangwu, several peerless geniuses attacked together, attacking Yangwu. One person raised a giant axe and chopped at Yangwu's head. Another person raised a thin sword and stabbed at Yangwu's heart. There were also people who spread out a net and descended from the sky, targeting Yangwu. Each of these geniuses had the ability to challenge an early-stage dragon transformation realm cultivator. They went all out to kill Yangwu. Yangwu looked at these tortoise-like attacks and lightly shook his head, saying, "Too slow." Yangwu casually attacked. Each of his punches was launched after the other, quickly landing on the bodies of those geniuses. Those geniuses were sent flying like kites with their strings cut. Yangwu looked at Kuan Xian and muttered in his heart, "It's time to take revenge for that fan." Kuan Xian had just sent those geniuses flying when he saw Yangwu looking at him. He instinctively sensed danger and coldly looked at Yangwu. His two strange eyes attacked Yangwu. This was a pair of strange eyes that could confuse a person's soul. It was Kuan Xian's unique talent, and not many people knew about it. Yangwu had fought with Kuan Xian before and knew his trump card. This move had no effect on him. Whoosh! Yangwu disappeared from a spot. Kuan Xian's eyesight was shocking, but he was still unable to catch Yangwu's figure. When he noticed Yangwu again, Yangwu had already appeared beside Kuan Xian. Kuan Xian's reaction was also fast, and he quickly waved his fan. A terrifying gust of wind blew, turning into a tornado that swept towards Yangwu. However, this tornado only hit Yangwu's afterimage. Yangwu's real body appeared behind Kuan Xian and shouted, "Kick your butt." Kuan Xian couldn't block in time and was firmly kicked by Yangwu. His body fell forward like a pile of dog poop. Kuan Xian's body quickly bounced back up when he touched the ground. He waved his fan again, the wind that was enough to send a high-stage dragon transformation realm cultivator flying. Kick your butt. Yang Wu once again appeared behind Kuan Xian and kicked at him. Kuan Xian felt extremely embarrassed. This was the power to kick your ass. Kick your ass. No matter how hard Kuan Xian tried, he couldn't hurt Yang Wu. Yang Wu would always appear behind him and kick his butt until it was swollen. The surrounding prodigies were dumbfounded. This Wu Yang is too strong. Kuan Xian roared weakly. Stop kicking. I admit defeat. Kuan Xian had been through hundreds of battles, and this was the first time he had lost so shamefully. He was furious, but he had nowhere to vent it. He cursed in his heart. Where did this freak come from? He thought that he had cultivated to the peak of the heavenly fish realm and would be able to break through to the dragon transformation realm soon. Now that such a strong opponent had appeared, it was a big blow to him. Hearing Kuan Xian admit defeat, Yang Wu kicked Kuan Xian's butt again and said, If you admit defeat, just admit defeat. Why are you shouting so loudly? If I didn't hear it clearly, I would have thought that you won. After Kuan Xian fell to the ground, he quickly got up and disappeared from the sacred Dao Plaza. He only left behind some words. Wu Yang, just you wait. I will get back at you for sure. After Yang Wu defeated Kuan Xian, he looked at the moon-worship demonic sect's holy son, Hongzheng. He was still in the sacred Dao Plaza, clearly still wanting to take the leader's position. Brother, there should be no one to fight for the leader's position with you. Then it will be you, me, and Tian Fozi. What do you think? Hongzheng looked calmly at Yang Wu. Yang Wu shook his head lightly and said, We are not brothers. Purple Fairy and I will take the two leaders' positions. If you're not satisfied, you can come and fight. Of course, you can also ask Tian Fozi for advice. You choose. Don't be so unsightly. Hongzheng frowned and said, Do you want to be kicked in the butt too? Yang Wu raised an eyebrow and asked. Hongzheng felt his back tighten. He was afraid that Yang Wu would suddenly attack him. Take my move. If you block me, I will give up the leader's position. Hongzheng clenched his fists and said. Yang Wu replied, You can try. Hongzheng stared at Yang Wu, and a moon-shaped battle rune appeared on his forehead. He crossed his hands and made a strange gesture. Suddenly, he knelt down, startling Yang Wu. Yang Wu exclaimed, Hey, if you can't beat me, just admit defeat. Why are you kneeling to me? I'm not your father or mother. Moon God, please give me the power to destroy all obstacles. Hongzheng prayed. Suddenly, the power in Hongzheng's forehead shot up into the sky. A moon appeared in the sky, and a ray of moonlight shone on Hongzheng. His battle aura surged. He looked up at Yang Wu and shouted, Take my god's move. Moon worship Kaodao. Whoosh. A terrifying ray of moonlight shot toward Yang Wu. This power came so fast that it was hard to catch. This was the power of the moon, the power of faith of the moon worship demonic sect. It possessed incredible power. The power of this attack was enough to kill a high-level Dragon Transformation Realm Warrior. Even a top-level Dragon Transformation Realm Warrior might not be able to take it easily. This was the power of the Moon God. Yu Yu looked at this attack, and her heart skipped a beat. She was worried for Yang Wu. She muttered, Is he really Brother Wu? Yang Wu looked at this attack, and his eyes became serious. He didn't try to dodge, but instead took a step forward and shouted, Let me show you the power of despair. Soldier fist straight punch. Yang Wu took a horse stance as steady as a mountain. He raised his chi, sucked in his stomach, and swung his fist. He rushed out like an army of thousands and met the power of the moon god head-on. Bang! The two powers fiercely collided, and a deafening sound rang out. Much of the remaining power splashed out, and when everything disappeared, Yang Wu was still standing in his original position. He still maintained the posture of swinging his fist, and it was as if he was practicing normally. He didn't feel the slightest bit of pressure. Hongzheng's power had been destroyed, and the moon had disappeared. He was thrown back dozens of feet. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and he stared at Yang Wu. He couldn't believe that such a powerful attack had been so easily destroyed by Yang Wu. Was this really the power of a heavenly fish realm warrior? You're definitely not a heavenly fish realm, Hong Zheng said through gritted teeth. Before he could finish, Yang Wu's voice sounded behind him. I'll kick your butt. The tragic Hong Zheng followed in Kuan Xian's footsteps. All of the prodigies saw Hong Zheng fly dozens of feet away, and they all felt their butts tighten. They cursed in their hearts. This is a freak. Yang Wu didn't push his luck. He said in a clear voice, Is there anyone else who wants a challenge? If not, the remaining 2 leader positions will be taken up by me and Fairy Yu. The prodigies present didn't dare to make sound. So many saints couldn't even last one round. How were they going to continue fighting? Fairy Yu looked at Yang Wu and said, I didn't fight for the leader position myself. I don't care if you don't want it. With that, she turned and left the sacred battle hall. Yang Wu hurried over and said, Fairy Z, I'm sincere towards you. You can't just leave like that. Who exactly are you? Fairy Yu stared at Yang Wu and asked. Yang Wu smiled and said, I'm Wu Yang, your admirer. Fairy Yu rolled her eyes at him and said, I already have a lover. With that, she ignored Yang Wu and quickly returned to her seat in the Purple Cloud Palace. Yang Wu wanted to chase after her, but after some hesitation, he gave up. He looked up at the sky and sighed. I've worked so hard for nothing. I can't even win the heart of a beauty. Forget it. The leader position is up to whoever wants it. Then, he irresponsibly left the sacred battle hall. At this moment, the prodigies present were in an uproar. Hey, Wu Yang, you can't play like this. Since we've already acknowledged your strength, you can be our leader. This guy is here to mess things up. He's too much. I think he must be a dragon transformation realm fighter. He's using some kind of sacred item to hide his true strength. Are you doubting the judgment of a saint? Wu Yang, I'll remember this name. I'll definitely defeat you. Yang Wu brought White-Haired Demoness by Luo Yin, Yang Jinlong, and the others back to the hotel. He wasn't in a hurry to reunite with Fairy Yu because he didn't want to cause trouble for her. He was already very happy to see that she was fine. 3 years after 3 years. I've already waited for so long. It won't be long before I officially go to the Purple Cloud Palace to marry you. Yang Wu made up his mind. Before Yang Wu and the others could walk far, someone chased after him and said, My handsome master, why did you just leave me here? The voice was sweet and soft, straight to the heart. No matter who heard it, their bones would melt. Yang Wu didn't need to turn around to know who it was. However, he pretended not to hear and continued walking forward. Hey, Yang Wu. Master Yang Wu, you really don't want me anymore? A light breeze blew, and a figure blocked in front of Yang Wu. Flying Tiger and Hong Mo locked their auras on the newcomer. As long as the other party dared to act rashly, they would immediately attack. Yang Wu looked at the sky, severing sex saintess, and smiled. Beauty, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Yang Wu, not Yang Wu. You're mistaken. The sky's severing sex saintess, Yuan Chenwan, covered her mouth and laughed. Haha, keep pretending. Your disguise is very clever, but don't forget that you once stole something from me and hurt me. Even if you turn into ashes, I'll still recognize you. Your sister Yu is really cute. She can't even recognize her own lover. Why don't you let me be your woman? If that doesn't work, I can continue to be a maid. Chapter 8:13. The Saintess of the Sky Severing Sect, Yuan Chenwan, had been controlled by Yang Wu for a period of time in the fragmented space. At that time, Yang Wu thought that he had controlled her, but who would have thought that after destroying her soul source, she was not injured at all? She should have a secret method to repair her soul. No matter what, Yang Wu still had a deep impression of Yuan Chenwan. Not only was she seductive, but her personality was also different. She was always smiling, and no one could guess what she was thinking. No one knew when she would give a fatal attack. If it was any other saintess who had been captured and became a maid, their hearts would have collapsed or be filled with hatred. How could they admit it openly and even look proud? Yang Wu looked at Yuan Chenwan and his eyes turned. He said with a lustful look, Okay, I won't pretend. I am Yang Wu. Since you are willing to be my maid, warm my bed tonight. This young master can't ask for anything more. With that, he reached out a hand and touched Yuan Chenwan's face. Even if Yuan Chenwan knew that Yang Wu was faking it, She would not let him take advantage of her. Her figure quietly retreated, but she did not expect that Yang Wu's hand would be everywhere. He continued to chase after her, and in the blink of an eye, he touched her face. He even took the opportunity to pinch her tender and smooth cheek. He smiled and said, "So tender." Yuan Qinwen touched her face and looked at Yang Wu angrily. "You are so annoying. I haven't seen you for so long, and you are already taking advantage of me. You have to take responsibility." "Of course I will. Didn't I just say it? You will warm my bed tonight. I will take good care of you." Yang Wu laughed and reached out to grab Yuan Qinwen. Yuan Qinwen was already prepared. She quickly retreated and put a lot of distance between them. Yang Wu did not chase after her. He smiled and said, "Haha, I thought you were more open-minded." He ignored Yuan Qinwen and turned to return to the hotel with his people. Yuan Qinwen hesitated for a while, but did not follow. She looked at Yang Wu's back and murmured, "Sooner or later, your true face will be revealed." Suddenly, a figure appeared beside her. It was an old woman. She said, "He is very dangerous, and the people around him are not weak." "That's right. I didn't expect him to become so terrifying in less than a year. If this continues, he'll be in the top 10 of the younger generation." Yuan Qinwen nodded in agreement. "If young Miss can make him submit, that would also be good." The old woman said, He can't escape from the palm of my hand." Yuan Qinwen smiled confidently. After Yang Wu returned to the hotel, he distributed some of the refined pills to the people around him. Even Flying Tiger, Hong Imo, and Hong Ying received some. Flying Tiger, Hong Imo, and Hong Ying were stunned as they held the pills in their hands. They were captives who were forced to follow Yang Wu. Other than their weapons, everything else had been taken away by Yang Wu. How could Yang Wu be so kind as to give them pills? Yang Wu looked at them and said, "Although you were forced to follow this lord, I will not treat you unfairly. The herbs I obtained from you have all been refined into pills. In the future, as long as you follow this lord, helping you become a saint in the Star Rune realm is not a problem. However, if anyone dares to betray this lord, even if you become a saint, you will not have a good ending." "Yes, Lord." Flying Tiger, Hong Imo, and Hong Ying replied in unison. They were full of doubts. Could it be that Lord is also an alchemist? They did not dare to ask. In their hearts, they suspected that the pills were refined by the saint who secretly followed them. "We will rest for a day. Tomorrow, we will follow the geniuses of the various factions into the mountains," Yang Wu announced. Today, the geniuses of the various factions had decided on the final 3 leaders. They were Tian Fozi, the young Hall King, and Yu Yu. Tian Fozi was the owner of this place, so no one had any objections to him being the leader. The young Palace King's strength was astonishing, and behind him was a colossus like the Long Life Palace. Even though it was rumored that he had been defeated once since his debut, that did not stop him from becoming the leader. Moreover, the great Palace King had come with him this time, who was a terrifying monster. If it was not for the fact that the great Palace King disdained to participate in this kind of battle, the position of the first leader would have been his. Ziyue was able to become one of the leaders because of her extraordinary battle prowess. Moreover, she was as beautiful as a fairy, so she had too many supporters. Those people all wanted her to be the leader, and the people of the Purple Cloud Palace also wanted her to be the leader, so she naturally became one of the leaders. After the 3 leaders were decided, they rested for a day before heading to the Skyfield mountain range to search for the Khanate treasure. There was news that the Khanate treasure was located in the ruins of Heavenly Palace. Not everyone could obtain a Khanate treasure, but if they could enter the ruins of Heavenly Palace, many people might be able to obtain its heritage. Heavenly Palace was a colossus in the world of transcendence. They had countless heritages. Even though they had been destroyed, many of them must have been left behind. These heritages were nothing in the eyes of some important figures, but to the young people, they were rare treasures. Over the years, countless people had entered the Sky Domain mountain range to search for the ruins of the Heavenly Palace, but no one had ever found it. All that was left was a ruined dojo. That ruined dojo was the outermost area of the Heavenly Palace, and it had been searched by countless people. Even the Saint Array master that had been hired had not been able to find any clues about the Heavenly Palace. This time, the pride's first goal was to go to the ruins of Heavenly Palace. The ruins of Heavenly Palace were located in the Skyfield mountain range. It took up a large area of more than 300 mountains, forming a special place for gathering chi. Many of the mountains had been destroyed, and there were many bottomless pits. There were also many scars of battle, fist marks, finger marks, sword marks. Many ancient buildings had been destroyed, but there was still some debris. This place was in winter all year round, and there were many times when it was snowing, covering the wretched scene of the ruins, forming a unique scenery. The ruins had long been occupied by many spirit-type demons, and the Icemen had lived here for a long time. It was rumored that the Iceman race was a race of slaves of the Heavenly Palace. After the Heavenly Palace was destroyed, the Iceman race managed to escape the fate of being destroyed. They took the opportunity to rise up and quickly grew stronger. They became an extremely powerful race in the Heaven Domain mountain range and could be considered half the masters of the Heaven Domain mountain range. They formed an alliance with many spirit demons to protect this territory. In the past, any team that came here to hunt demons or search for treasures would be attacked as soon as they entered their territory. They did not allow anyone to enter the depths of the Skyfield mountain range, nor did they allow anyone to touch the ruins of Heavenly Palace. It was as if they were announcing to the world that they were the masters of this place. Nearly 20,000 prides set off for Skyfield mountain range. They were all radiant and energetic. Riding on different spirit-type demons, they quickly left Skyfield City. Roar! Roar! Many spirit-type demons roared excitedly on the snowy path. They ran as fast as they could. This team had been put together at the last minute. Their strengths varied, and it was almost impossible for them to move together. Some of them were fast, while others were slow. Soon they split up. Some had already gone far, while others were desperately trying to catch up. As the leaders, the three did not care. They had already controlled their speed. Those who could not keep up would stay behind. They did not want to die with them. This was for their own good. Only those who could keep up with them were worthy of cooperating with them. Tion Fozi sat on a golden lion. He was young and looked like a Buddha. His eyes were closed, and there was a solemn aura around him. He twirled his Buddhist beads, as if he had forgotten that everyone was following him. The young palace king was clad in battle armor, with a sword hanging from his waist. He looked heroic. He sat on a powerful ancient spirit-type demon hunter. It was very majestic. It raised its head proudly among the other spirit-type demons. It did not even care about the spirit-type demons that were stronger than it. It was one of the top spirit-type demons. Only a peerless genius like the young palace king, who had great luck, could have such a mount. Ziyue was sitting on a purple lightning spiritual marten that possessed an ancient bloodline. The purple lightning spiritual marten could change its size. When it was big, it could sit on someone. When it was small, it could be hugged by someone. Its entire body was purple, and only a small tuft of white hair was on its head. It looked very handsome. Ziyue was wearing a purple dress that completely covered her sexy body. Only her swan-like smooth neck and two pink arms were exposed. Her expression was calm, and her eyes occasionally looked back. No one knew who she was looking for. There was a man who, after being looked at by her, fell to the ground in bliss. His mind was filled with fantasies. He mumbled, "Purple Fairy is looking at me. She's looking at me. She must have taken a fancy to me." Ziyu's heart was not as calm as she appeared to be. She kept thinking, "Is Wu Yang brother Wu?" Yesterday, she had been thinking about this question in the sacred battle hall. She was not sure if Wu Yang was Yang Wu, because she did not expect him to appear in Sky Domain City. She also did not expect Yang Wu's combat ability to become so strong. Moreover, Yang Wu's appearance had changed a lot. It was normal that she could not recognize him. Moreover, the people from Purple Heaven Palace were present. She could not openly ask him, for fear of offending them. In the fragmented space, Yang Wu had slaughtered so many disciples from Purple Heaven Palace. Yang Wu had long been on the Purple Heaven Palace's kill list of the younger generation. Lei Shiyang hated Yang Wu to the bone. If Wu Yang was really Yang Wu, there would definitely be a conflict between them. but she also hoped that it was him. She missed him. Brother Wu, is it really you? The more Ziyu you thought about it, the more she felt that Yang Wu was Wu Yang. Her longing for him grew stronger. Miss, what are you thinking about? A maidservant beside Ziyu asked. This maidservant was not very old. Her strength had reached the high-level Earth-Sea realm. She was Ziqi, who had gone to the mortal world to find trouble with Yang Wu. Ziyu shook her head and said, Nothing. Chapter 8:14. Endless mountain ranges, white mountain paths, and gusts of cold wind blew incessantly. Behind the 10,000-strong group, there was a group of people chasing after them. Hey, wait for us. How can they leave us behind? Damn it, they must want to take the Khanate cardinal treasure for themselves. Is there any justice in this world? What happened to being united? Why didn't the three leaders care about us at such a critical time? We're weak, so it's normal that they don't want us. Let's go find the Khanate cardinal treasure ourselves. This place is so dangerous. It's fine if we stay in the periphery, but if we keep going deeper, our lives will be in danger. Some people gave up on the chase, while others followed the tracks left behind by those in front of them. These people gradually decreased in number, and the tracks left behind by those in front of them were covered by the snow, making it difficult to find them. One group moved forward at a leisurely pace. They were not in a hurry, as if they were not afraid of being separated from the main group. This group did not have any mounts and was only moving on foot. They did not seem to be from a large faction. Brother Wu, that ice tree over there is so beautiful. A little girl in the arms of the ordinary young man in the middle stretched out her finger and pointed at a silver needle tree not far away. The young man stroked the girl's head dotingly. It is very beautiful. You'll see even more beautiful things as long as we keep moving forward. That's great. I like it, the little girl cheered. Nanan, aren't you afraid of the cold? The young man asked. Brother is protecting me, so I don't feel cold. I like this kind of cold feeling too. Is that so? Then try using the incantation I taught you, and see if there's any reaction. Okay, Brother Wu. This group was Yang Wu's group. They did not move forward with the main group, because they did not want to be the vanguard. They would let the others explore the path first, and then follow from behind. Yang Wu was not worried about them obtaining the Khanate cardinal treasure. His goal was to find the ruins of the heavenly palace and see his chief master. After the little Nan Nan in Yang Wu's arms had been soaked in the marrow-cleansing liquid, her appearance had clearly changed. Her skin was white with a tinge of red, and her healthy complexion could be seen at a glance. As she followed Yang Wu's instructions to circulate the marrow-cleansing liquid, she invisibly absorbed traces of icy cold energy into her body. She only felt that her body was a little cold, but she couldn't tell what it was. Yang Wu's eyes widened as he exclaimed softly, It's so easy to attract the cold energy. Brother Wu, what's wrong? Is it because I didn't do well? The little girl asked. No, it's just that Nan Nan is amazing. Big Brother only taught you a simple way to absorb qi, and you were able to absorb the cold qi. Your cultivation talent is very good. Really? Then I will continue to work hard and become a powerful martial artist as soon as possible. Yes, Nan Nan will definitely become very powerful. Can I save my mother then? A day later, Yang Wu and his group were still on the outer mountain path. At night, the mountain path wasn't very dark. The white snow still illuminated this part of the world. Yang Wu and his group found a clean place, roasted some food, and sat together to talk. They didn't continue on their journey. Lord, if we continue on like this, we will be left behind sooner or later. Bai Luoyun couldn't help but say to Yang Wu. Yang Wu took a bite of meat and said, Don't worry about this. You just have to remember to cultivate at all times. The environment here is quite suitable for training your adaptability. The environment here is quite good. Ice and snow are also a type of water. I can speed up my cultivation. You can't be arrogant. With your strength, I can easily beat 100 people. Father is right. I have to cultivate at all times. Give me a demon core to eat. Yang Zhenlong said from aside. You should refine the dragon bone first. Eating a demon core will increase your strength quickly, but it won't be good for your future. Don't worry about cultivating the inheritance. Yang Wu comforted him. Then he said to Fei Hu, Hong Mo, and Hong Ying, "Have you been here before?" Hong Mo shook his head. "No," Fei Hu replied. "I came here once a few years ago." "Then tell me about the situation here." "Yes, Lord." Fei Hu explained the situation in the sky domain, which gave Yang Wu a fright. Early on, before they entered the mountain range, he found out about the basic situation here from White-Hair She-Devil, by Luo Yun and the others, and he still felt disbelief when he heard about the situation here from Fei Hu. It was impossible to fly in the depths of the sky domain mountain range. Moreover, there were many Saint Realm and even Immortal Realm spirit demons and other races. Some of the ice mountains even contained natural ice illusions. Once someone fell in, they would never be able to escape. There are also some extremely cold springs. If one fell in, they would immediately become an ice sculpture. If they didn't die, they could gain many benefits from it. After hearing this, Yang Wu became even more interested in the Sky Palace. After eating their fill, they continued on their journey. At this time, there was no one else beside them. Some people quickly chased after them, while others simply chose to give up. At first, some people wanted to follow Yang Wu and the others to fish in troubled waters. However, they realized that Yang Wu and the others weren't in a hurry and didn't have time to waste here with them. Not long after, they saw some dead people and spirit demons. The blood on the ground hadn't completely dried yet. After arriving here, Hong Mo and Hong Ying were in charge of leading the way to avoid any accidents. As they continued forward, they were attacked by spirit demons. These spirit demons were average in strength. They became prey for Bai Luo Yun and Yang Junlong to practice martial arts. Just like this, Yang Wu and the others continued at a steady pace. Gradually, they entered the outer region of the Sky Domain mountain range. Looking at the countless mountains, they formed a shocking mountain range. It was a spectacular sight. In the outer region, the cold air became thicker. The number of spirit demons and ferocious beasts increased. There were traces of battle on the ground. Some broken limbs were left behind, but they were quickly covered by the wind and snow. It's actually quite good to have them leading the way for us. Yang Wu muttered. After a pause, he thought, Yu Yu is the saint of the Purple Firmament Palace. She definitely has some life-saving means. I hope nothing happens to her. After entering the outer region of the mountain range, the place indeed began to change. The gravity became stronger, and the cold air became thicker. Ordinary kings of the Earthsea realm would have to circulate their martial arts to resist the cold air. This showed how harsh the environment was. Yang Wu's group was able to follow the footsteps of the group in front of them because of the help of White-Haired Demoness and Flying Tiger. They were all good at tracking, and from the subtle changes in the surrounding environment, they could determine the direction of the group. Without the two of them, Yang Wu would not have dared to walk so slowly and carelessly. Big brother, I feel like there's something fun over there that's attracting me. Little Nan Nan pointed in a direction. Is that so? Let's go take a look. Yang Wu smiled. Thus, he led little Nan Nan to a place not far away. He didn't find anything. Before he could ask little Nan Nan, she pointed under the snow and said, Big brother, it's under the snow? Put me down. I'll go take a look. The weather is cold. If I put you down, I'm afraid you'll get cold. Big brother, I'm not afraid of the cold. Put me down. Okay, if you feel cold, then say it. Yang Wu hesitated for a moment, but still put little Nan Nan down. Little Nan Nan left his embrace, but she didn't seem to feel cold. She hopped and hopped toward the place one zhang away and began to dig at the snow on the ground. Very quickly, Yang Wu discovered that there was a mushroom on the ground that she dug up. This was the spirit medicine ice mushroom. Little Nan Nan pulled out the ice mushroom and smiled. Big brother, look, this is a small mushroom. Even though there were countless spirit herbs in the Sky Domain mountain range, it still required patience to find them. Little Nan Nan had always been in his embrace, but she could still sense its existence. He felt that it was incredible. Yang Wu praised little Nan Nan. Nan Nan, this is an ice mushroom. It's a very amazing spirit herb. You're really amazing to be able to find it. Little Nan Nan happily smiled and asked, Is it really that amazing? Yes, it can make Nan Nan stronger. Yang Wu replied, That's great. Big brother, I also feel that there's something fun over there. Little Nan Nan pointed in another direction and said, "Let's go take a look." Not long after Little Nan Nan brought Yang Wu, they found a very small spirit flower on a protruding rock. It was a stalk of snow luster flower. The snow flower was like a snowflake and was one with the earth. If one didn't look carefully, it would be hard to notice its existence. Before Little Nan Nan could get close to the snow flower, Yang Wu flicked his finger and hit the rock. Bang! The rock cracked and a silver snow snake was revealed. Hiss! When Little Nan Nan saw the silver snow snake, she jumped in fright and immediately began to cry, "Big brother, snake, snake!" Yang Wu flicked his finger again, and the silver snow snake exploded on the spot. He said to Little Nan Nan, "Wherever there are spirit herbs, there will be spirit demons or vicious beasts guarding it. Nan Nan, you can't be careless. Why would there be spirit demons or vicious beasts guarding the spirit herbs?" Little Nan Nan asked in shock. Because they want to protect the spirit herb until it matures and then eat it to become stronger. Is that really the case? Then I didn't steal their food. That Nan Nan is a bad person. Woo woo. Nan Nan, you don't need to blame yourself. Anything in this world can be possessed by anyone. As long as you have the ability to possess it, you can steal it. If you don't have the ability, you will also become their food. Is that so? Yang Wu taught Little Nan Nan by example. Although Little Nan Nan was very smart, she was still a little girl. She vaguely remembered it in her heart and slowly understood it in the future. Yang Wu continued on with Little Nan Nan. He felt that Little Nan Nan had some kind of innate talent. He continued to let Little Nan Nan sense it. She continued to point in different directions and found spirit herbs. Once, she even found a piece of ice crystal. He confirmed his guess that Little Nan Nan had an innate talent for treasure hunting. Nan Nan is really a treasure. Her innate talent can't be exposed to outsiders. Otherwise, it will be very dangerous. Chapter 8:15. Heavenly Palace Ruins. At the intersection between the outer and inner regions of the Heaven Domain mountain range, there were not many mountains that were still standing. Many of them had collapsed, and there were countless craters creating a strange scene. Tian Fozi, young Palace King, Yu Yu, and the others had brought nearly 20,000 people at the start. In the end, there were less than 8,000 people left. It was difficult to describe the dangers they had experienced. Someone complained, "It's really Heaven's Road. It took us 7 days to reach this wasteland. It's good enough that we made it here. Those Icemen almost attacked us. If the 3 leaders hadn't shown us their sect, they would have fought us to the death. There were too many spirit demons along the way. Fortunately, they didn't cause any problems. I pity our brothers and sisters who died. Purple Fairy's electric field yesterday was terrifying. Even a small demon saint was killed. Young Palace King is also powerful. His sword pagoda innate skill killed 18 ice demons. He's invincible. Don't forget about Tian Arhut. Look at the ice demon behind him. It's been subdued by his dharma. I'd better stay away from him. I don't want him to turn me into a Buddhist without me knowing what's going on. Now that we're in the wasteland, the Icemen won't let us search here." A large number of geniuses had entered. As the masters of this place, the Icemen had already received the news. A large number of people had been waiting here. After the Heavenly Palace was destroyed, this place had become their territory. They were the masters of this place and would not allow anyone to come close. The Iceman clan looked very similar to the human clan. Their heads, limbs, and bodies were the same. The only difference was that their skin was like ice crystals and looked shiny. They were different from the normal human clan. The most special thing about them was their amber eyes, which had a strange light. The Icemen had always lived in the Sky Domain mountain range. At most, they would only move around the Sky Domain. They rarely traveled because the climate outside was not suitable for them. Just like how Bailuyan's cultivation was affected after he left the water domain. It was the same reason why his battle strength was affected. The Iceman race's combat prowess was exceptional in the land of ice. They had the innate talent of ice and snow, and could erupt with great power. Around the ruins of the Heavenly Palace, there were a large number of ice men living. It was unknown whether they were guarding the ruins or excavating the inheritance of the ruins. When the Sky Prides arrived at the ruins, a large number of icemen riding snow wolves and snow leopards appeared in front of them. They didn't have as many people as the Sky Prides, but they had brought along a large number of snow wolves and snow leopards. There were more than 20,000 of them, and they were stronger than the Sky Prides. The Iceman race had a total of more than 1,000 people. Every one of them had the strength of Heaven Realm. More than 100 of them were small saints. The leaders were a pair of young man and woman. The man was tall and handsome, while the woman was beautiful. They were the prince and princess of the Iceman race. Their names were Chaos and Kelly. Chaos was sitting on top of a mighty snow wolf. He was holding onto an ice spear and said condescendingly, "Human, please leave my clan's territory quickly. Don't force my clan to hurt you." Chaos's voice was incomparably cold. It was the innate tone of the Iceman race. It wasn't intentional. Tion Fozi sat on top of a golden lion. He raised his head to look at Chaos and said faintly, "Umit Ba, Prince Chaos, do you still remember this little monk?" Chaos's eyes were suffused with cold chi. He stared at Tion Fozi and shouted, "Stinky bald donkey, you still dare to come here? Do you really think I don't dare to kill you?" 5 years ago, when Chaos met Tion Fozi for the first time, Tion Fozi almost converted him. Fortunately, his willpower was not small. His hatred for Tion Fozi was very deep. "Your Highness, your evil aura is too heavy. Only by converting to Buddhism and learning the sooner and later scriptures can you get rid of your evil aura. Only then can your strength increase." Tion Fozi spoke in Buddhist language. Ordinary words with Buddhist chi would give people a sacred and inviolable feeling. It was easy to trust him. "Stinky bald donkey, if you dare to open your mouth again, this prince will give the order to kill you all." Chaos shouted angrily. Young Hall King said from the side, "Today, the prodigies of all the major powers gathered here. 1 is to find the innate treasure. 2 is to find the location of the Heavenly Palace ruins. Don't think about stopping us, otherwise you will be digging your own grave." "Haha, this is our territory. You humans can come and go as you wish. How can it be so easy?" Chaos laughed wildly. He waved his ice spear and said coldly, "If you don't retreat in 3 breaths, you will receive the fury of our ice race." "Ice race? Are you trying to bully us? This is the territory left behind by us humans. Since when is it your turn to be so arrogant?" Kuan Xian shouted loudly. "1 breath. Iceman race, don't make a mistake. With our strength, it is more than enough to exterminate your ice race." Another prodigy shouted, 2 breaths. Ice race is only the slaves of the Heavenly Palace. Eliminate them. 3 breaths, kill." The Iceman race was very decisive. After Chaos gave the order, those snow wolves and snow leopards let out a roar, and powerful figures charged towards those prodigies. Roar! Roar! These ice race's spirit demons lived in this place for a long time. This was their territory. They would never allow anyone to encroach on it. These spirit demons were very powerful, and their numbers were double that of the human race. Their aura was enough to make many human prodigies feel fear. "Now that things have come to this, let's just kill them all," Young Hall King said with high fighting spirit. Zuu drew her sword, and without wasting any time, she shouted, "Kill!" This was a world of the strong. There was no such thing as logic. Only killing a path of blood was the way of the king. Even though Zuu had a kind personality, after years of training, she had also grown rapidly. She had a dream in her heart, and that was to become the strongest woman in the Purple Firmament Palace. Only then would she have the right to decide on her own marriage. Once the elders in the palace had told her this principle, if she was unable to display enough potential and fight for her own position in the palace, then she would not be able to control her own life, and her lover, Yang Wu, would also be implicated. Only by becoming stronger and increasing her position in the palace would she have the right to negotiate with the palace. Zuu was much more hardworking than before, and she would not be merciful towards the other races. The purple moon sword emitted waves of lightning energy, and a dense sword intent pierced through the sky, cutting several snow wolves into pieces on the spot. Tion Fozi rode the golden lion forward step by step, mumbling something, and Buddhist runes flew out, entering the forehead of the snow leopards, and they quickly withered, losing their ability to fight. Young Hall King took a step forward and punched out continuously. The power of the fist Tao was too strong, and wherever the fist light passed, a large number of spirit beasts would die. Kuan Xian attacked, his palms like the wind, and continuously struck out with earth-shattering power. None of the other prodigies were idle, and they all attacked, causing colorful energy to explode. There was no lack of powerful existences among the snow wolves and snow leopards. They were ferocious and could control the ice energy around them. They had extraordinary intelligence, and they worked together to form a formation, and countless hail and ice blades shot towards the human prodigies. Many of them could not block these attacks and were killed on the spot. The battle began, and it was incomparably intense. Chaos and Kelly did not attack, and neither did the other Icemen. They were waiting for the humans to be crippled, and then they would attack together. "Big brother, these humans are very powerful," Kelly said. "No matter how powerful they are, this is still our territory. They will die if they dare to be impudent," Chaos replied rudely. "Then are we going to attack?" "Definitely. We will let them know the power of our ice tribe later." While the Icemen were fighting with the other prodigies, Yang Wu and the rest were still slowly making their way to the back. Ever since Yang Wu found out that little Nan An had the ability to sense spirit treasures, he wanted her to sense the location of spirit objects. He didn't want to use her to search for treasures, but he wanted to understand her innate ability. He wanted her to familiarize herself with this innate ability so that he could train her innate ability and help her sense become stronger. In the 10 years in the God of War Pagoda, Yang Wu had created his own extreme circulatory cycle technique, which was a technique that could push her talent to the limit. In the end, Yang Wu determined that little Nanan's sensing ability came from her soul talent, and the sensing range could not be too far. This should be related to the fact that little Nan An was still a child. If she grew up, her sensing ability would be even stronger. Yang Wu decided to teach little Nan An the Soul Control Sutra. This was a sutra that little He taught him to cultivate soul power. It had the ability to improve one's soul. It would definitely be very useful to little Nan An. Little Nan An was very smart. Under Yang Wu's guidance, she gradually understood the basics of the Soul Control Sutra. Her body was also soaked in the marrow cleansing elixir every 2 days by Yang Wu, and her physique became even more extraordinary. Everything that Yang Wu did for little Nan An made the people around him jealous. The Lord is so good to little Nan An. If only the Lord was half as good to me, I would be satisfied. Bai Luoyin was jealous. Yang Jinlong said, "I seriously suspect that I am his fake son." Yang Wu patted Yang Jinlong's head and said, "In the future, you will be in charge of little Nanan's safety. You will only benefit from being with her." "Father, don't worry. I will definitely protect little sister." Yang Jinlong patted his chest. "Little Long is so shy. I am your aunt." Little Nan An made a funny face at Yang Jinlong. Yang Jinlong was completely depressed. Yang Wu called little Nan An his sister, and he was Yang Wu's son. Little Nan An really seemed to be his aunt. This hierarchy was too messy. "All right, we can't delay any longer. Let's hurry to the Heavenly Palace ruins." Yang Wu smiled. He had already wasted a lot of time. It was more important to take care of business first. Just as Yang Wu and the others continued in the direction of the group of prodigies, little Nan An pointed in another direction and said, "Big brother, let's go this way, okay?" Okay. Chapter 8:16. In the ruins of the Heavenly Palace. The Ice Race and the human race's prodigies were fighting fiercely. The Ice Race had the help of the Snow Wolves and Snow Leopards, and they also had the advantage in numbers. Even though they were fighting against the human race's prodigies, they weren't completely slaughtered. These two races were on the same side as the Ice Race. They also knew how to use formations, and their combined attacks were stronger than the previous one. The surrounding 100 li was enveloped by their power. This was the ruins of the Heavenly Palace, and it contained an indescribable momentum, or perhaps there were some formations that had yet to be discovered. The power of their battle didn't cause too much damage to this place. It only caused some superficial damage. In this place, both sides couldn't fly at high altitudes. At most, they could only jump back and forth within 1,000 john. It was as if there was a great momentum enveloping this place, preventing them from flying. This battle lasted for close to a day. The human race's prodigies suffered many casualties, and a large number of the snow wolves and snow leopards' corpses were left behind. Chaos and Kelly led more than 1,000 troops and joined the battle. They were the strongest battle force, and when they joined the battle, the ice race's side had the upper hand. When both sides entered the climax of the battle, a strange scene suddenly appeared in another direction. Swoosh! Swoosh! Rays of icy light flickered in the distance. The energy of heaven and earth surged, and a large amount of icy chi gathered in that direction. The ice and snow wreaked havoc in the sky, and a gourd phantom appeared. It seemed to have come from ancient times, and it also seemed like a natural treasure. It produced a huge suction force, and even the sky seemed to be sucked into the gourd. In an instant, many icebergs shattered. Many spirit beasts and vicious beasts roared crazily, as if the end of the world had arrived. Chaos had just killed a human race's prodigy. His amber eyes were filled with excitement as he exclaimed, "A natural treasure has appeared. Brother, let's go and snatch it first." Kelly made a prompt decision. "Everyone, follow me." Chaos waved his ice spear and shouted. The other ice race's prodigies urged the snow wolves and snow leopards to charge towards the gourd phantom. Ba, this is a natural Buddha gourd, a supreme treasure of my Buddhist sect. It must be converted to Buddha. Tian Fozi's eyes revealed a trace of emotion. This time, you've said something nice, but it's my evil Buddhist sect's treasure. Fuzi said evilly. He turned into a meteor and flew towards the Khanate item. That's the longevity gourd. It belongs to our longevity hall, the young hall king called out. He rode away on his mount, Ho. Without another word, Ziyu led the people of the Purple Firmament Palace and rushed over. Kuin Xian, the Saint Prince of the Moon Worship Demonic Sect, the Saintess of the Sky Severing Sect, and many other geniuses rushed over. They'd come together only for the sake of dealing with the obstacles along the way. Now that a natural cardinal treasure had appeared, they naturally had to rely on their own ability to fight for it. They were only of a younger generation, and it was not easy for them to get their hands on an innate cardinal treasure. Some saints had been watching this for a long time, and waves of terrifying saint power reached out to grab the innate cardinal treasure. However, as soon as their powers entered the area of the Khanate cardinal treasure, they quickly disappeared as if they had been taken away. A divine voice sounded. Innate objects are born from the heavens and the earth. They have the ability to protect themselves. If a saint forcibly takes them, they will be destroyed. Everyone, do not act rashly. This belongs to the ice race. Don't even think about touching it, an ice race saint yelled. All creatures in the world can take the objects of heaven and earth. That's right. Let me take a look and see what kind of innate cardinal treasure it is. A saint's attack was destined to shatter heaven and earth. However, none of this happened. Just as the dozen or so powerful figures were about to rush towards that place, a powerful force pressed them down and strangled them. 3 saints couldn't escape in time and were killed on the spot by the boundless light, which frightened the saints who were trying to escape. Why is this happening? Is this a special sacred land? Don't forget that this area used to belong to the heavenly palace. There are many formations here. Once a strong being gets close, they'll be crushed into a puddle of blood. It seems that haste makes waste. Let's see if there's anything special about this terrain. Those little bastards are rushing over now. Will they be all right? Some weak creatures nearby are approaching. They're fine. Seems like they're only targeting us. In that case, let the children fight for it. Whoever gets it in the end will have it. All right, it's settled then. Yang Wu and little Nan Nan were heading in the direction of the treasure. They were shocked when they saw the strange phenomenon. The mountain path beneath their feet cracked and many ice stones rolled down. If they hadn't reacted quickly enough, they would have been injured by the stones. It's so beautiful. Brother, I want it. Little Nan Nan was overjoyed when he saw the flashing power in the sky and the gourd flash by. "Is that what you sensed just now?" asked Yang Wu. Little Nan Nan nodded. "Yes, brother. It seems to be calling me over." Yang Wu paused, then smiled. "Then let's hurry over." Yang Wu wasn't a fool. That was a primordial treasure. He didn't expect little Nan Nan to be able to find its direction. That was why they had the advantage. They were closer to the treasure than the others. Yang Wu and the others sped up. They were suppressed by the power of heaven and earth and couldn't fly. They could only run at full speed with their legs. "I'll take little Nan Nan first. You guys follow behind." Yang Wu couldn't wait to see the primordial treasure. He spoke to the people behind him and sped up with moves of wind god's legs. His innate power was different from before. Even an ordinary half-saint wouldn't be able to catch up with him when he ran at full speed. White-haired she-devil was barely able to keep up. The others were completely left behind. As they ran, the iceberg was still cracking. The power of the avalanche began to roll down. The natural disaster power was very strong. Even an ordinary Heaven Realm expert would feel great pressure. Yang Wu couldn't ignore it. He waved his fists again and again, knocking away a lot of falling ice and snow. He forced a path and continued to rush to the primordial treasure. He ran faster and faster, getting closer and closer to his target. He could faintly see a crack in a huge iceberg, and a strange light was flickering from that crack. That boundless light was enough to make anyone's eyes turn red. A primordial treasure bred in the iceberg. Yang Wu exclaimed at his heart. At that moment, several figures no less powerful than Yang Wu rushed toward the primordial treasure at the same time. They all had the aura of a half-saint and cultivated ice Xianqi. There were icemen, snow wolves, violent bears, and ice shadow. They were very fast. They had to rush to the iceberg as fast as possible to seize the primordial treasure. However, the closer they got to the primordial treasure, the greater the pressure they felt. There was the power of heaven and earth preventing them from seizing the treasure. This was also the self-protection ability of the primordial treasure. Suddenly, a figure flashed behind Yang Wu. The figure sneered and said, "A weak human wants to get his hands on a primordial treasure? You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth." After the voice faded, a cold energy turned into a blade and cut toward Yang Wu's body. Just when the creature thought Yang Wu was going to die, he found that his attack only cut through an afterimage. Yang Wu appeared behind the iceman who attacked him. A domineering fist punched toward the iceman's abdomen. Asterisk bang. Asterisk Yang Wu's fist energy was so domineering that even though the iceman's defense was very strong, it was still shattered into pieces. His body exploded and splashed. This was a peak minor saint iceman. He couldn't even block one punch from Yang Wu. He died with his eyes wide open. Who's weaker? Yang Wu muttered to himself. The half-step saints in front didn't care about what was happening here. It was impossible to get the primordial treasure without paying a price. Yang Wu sped up. He didn't want to miss the best opportunity to seize the treasure. Before he could get close, there was a fierce collision in front of him. I, Xiongguang, have been guarding this treasure for many days. Don't even think about seizing it. An ice bear transformed into human form. He carried a small iceberg and smashed it toward the half-step saints. An ice bear said coldly, "This is the territory of the ice tribe. Everything belongs to me. Xiongguang, don't make a mistake. Otherwise, I'll eradicate your ice bear tribe." Snow wolves and leopards blocked Xiongguang's attack and rushed toward him. The phantom race turned into a shadow and skimmed along the ice wall. He hoped to seize the primordial treasure without anyone noticing. Asterisk whoosh. Asterisk all of a sudden, an ice arrow shot towards him. An illusory creature quickly flashed. Ice crystals exploded in that area, and many ice crystals splashed towards him. "Bastard, where did you come from? How dare you ruin my plan?" The illusory creature cursed. An ice-winged man flapped his wings and flew toward the primordial treasure. Most creatures couldn't fly too high here. The ice-winged man had an advantage with his wings. No matter how low he flew, he was much faster than other creatures. The half-step saints appeared and collided fiercely. No one wanted to be the first to enter the primordial treasure's range. Yang Wu advanced with little Nan Nan and began to be blocked by other creatures. Yang Wu didn't want to be entangled with them. He activated his ice blade wings and passed through them quickly. The ice blade wings had the power of extreme cold. They were as fast as a fish. Their speed increased sharply, bringing Yang Wu closer to the primordial treasure. Die bug, the ice wing man sneered. He shot 3 arrows at Yang Wu from another direction. The 3 arrows formed the shape of a triangle and completely blocked Yang Wu's angle of escape. Even Yang Wu didn't dare to underestimate a half-step saint's arrow. With his sharp eyesight, he captured the arrow's trajectory and raised his fist to block the 3 arrows. Bang! 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 Chapter 817. The power of the 3 arrows wasn't small. After Yang Wu blocked them, he could still feel the remaining power seeping into his body. Do you want to die? Yang Wu glared at the icy winged man and shouted angrily. Hee hee, the one who will die will be you. The icy winged man sneered and shot out another 7 arrows. 7 consecutive arrows. One had to admit that the icy winged man's archery skills were quite impressive. After the 7 arrows were shot out, they rushed towards Yang Wu like an arrow dragon. They also carried a dense, icy energy. Yang Wu frowned. He didn't plan to block this attack as he was afraid of hurting the little Nan Nan in his arms. His icy bladed wings flashed, and his body drew a beautiful arc. He dodged the icy winged man's attack and continued to rush towards the innate cardinal treasure. At this moment, more and more creatures rushed over from all directions, including Chaos, Kelly, and the others. They were all the favorites of the iceberg and could use the terrain here to fly quickly. They were much faster than Tian Fozi, Young Hall King, and Zuu. Chaos and Kelly didn't join the battle immediately because their clansmen had already joined the battle. They wanted to wait and see. Tian Fozi, Young Hall King, Zuu, and the other prodigies arrived one after another. The small saints behind them were one step ahead of them and joined the battle. They wanted to seize the innate cardinal treasure. The battle for the innate cardinal treasure had reached its climax. Soon, someone rushed to the front of the innate cardinal treasure. He didn't have time to take the innate cardinal treasure and was sucked into the gourd by the innate cardinal treasure. No one knew if the innate cardinal treasure had mutated again. The majestic suction enveloped an area of 100 miles, and all the creatures were sucked into it involuntarily. The prodigies panicked instantly. What's going on? I can't control my body. Stop it. Bastard, I don't want this innate cardinal treasure anymore. Let me go. Who set this up? Is this innate cardinal treasure or not? Is there a saint who can save us? This thing is too strange. Please give me an imperial edict and take me away. No matter how hard they struggled, they were all sucked toward the primordial treasure on the iceberg. Yang Wu was no exception. He hugged the Nan Nan and couldn't resist the terrifying suction force. He realized that the power ahead was beyond his imagination. Without another word, he took out an imperial edict and tore it apart, intending to escape first. No matter how powerful a Khanate cardinal treasure was, it would not be worth it if one did not have the opportunity to subdue it. When Yang Wu tore open the imperial edict, he found that the power of the imperial edict could not be used at all. He instantly became anxious. What kind of lousy place is this? In the next moment, he was sucked into an unknown space like the others. Bang bang. Like dumplings, all of the living beings fell into a world filled with gourds. Many living beings saw a gourd tree that covered an entire world. There were many gourds growing on its body, and each gourd was sparkling and radiating an alluring scent. Yang Wu took a closer look and murmured, "What's going on?" The Nan Nan in his arms said excitedly, "It's here. I want to find it and make friends with it." "Who is it?" Yang Wu asked. It's the Calabash brothers," the Nan Nan said, blinking. "Could it be that this is a space formed by a natural cardinal treasure?" Instantly, Yang Wu thought of a possibility. Just then, a genius cried out excitedly, These gourds must be Khanate cardinal treasures. Haha, this is great. They look very similar to the gourds that appeared in the vision. Is it real? Pick them up and take a look." I feel that they're all extraordinary. Oh no, the vines here can attack. Everyone, be careful. After realizing that the gourds were extraordinary, the geniuses tried to pick them up, but the vines attacked them. Some were restrained, while others were whipped to the ground. Everyone encountered a different situation. These things are nothing. Get out of my way. A genius drew his weapon and slashed at the gourds. Before his attack landed, the vines turned into arrows and pierced the genius's throat. The genius clutched his throat tightly, unable to believe that he had died just like that. Other geniuses were strangled to death by the gourds, while others were whipped into a bloody mess. These gourds were extremely terrifying. Be it humans, ice men, or spirit demons, none of them could avoid being killed. Only the top geniuses could survive with their trump cards. Yang Wu was also quite frightened. He was about to clean up the gourds when the Nan said, "Big brother, don't touch them." Yang Wu hesitated but still decided to listen to the Nan. The Nan had abilities that even he did not possess. As expected, Yang Wu did not attack, and the gourd vines did not attack him. One of the geniuses broke through the vine's attacks and successfully took a gourd. The moment he took the gourd, he disappeared from this space. These geniuses instantly understood that taking the gourds was their only way out. It was also a great opportunity for them. The geniuses and the other races fought like crazy for the gourds, but very few managed to get their hands on them. Most of them died under the attacks of the gourd vines. These gourd vines are too strong. Yang Wu thought to himself, "Big brother, can you take me that way?" Little Nan pointed at the gourd tree. "Little Nan, it's very dangerous here. Let's think of a way to leave." Yang Wu said, "Big brother, don't be afraid. As long as we don't hurt them, they won't hurt us." Little Nan said seriously. After some hesitation, Yang Wu decided to listen to Nan and led her forward. Some creatures noticed Yang Wu's presence and found that he was not attacked by the gourds. They were all puzzled. Soon, some of them discovered the secret of this place. As long as they did not try to take the gourds, they would not be attacked by the vines. Thus, many creatures began to restrain their auras and did not attack the gourds rashly. They wanted to make sure of the situation first. Only a few creatures who did not know the situation were tangled up with the gourd vines. In the end, they did not have a good ending. When everything quieted down, many creatures began to plan how to take the gourds. Someone had already succeeded. They believed that as long as they took the gourds in the shortest time possible, their lives would not be in danger. Some of the more ambitious ones set their sights on the gourd tree. It was an astonishing mother tree that had just sprouted a peerless connate treasure. Perhaps they could find unexpected opportunities by approaching it. Thus, many people, like Yang Wu, walked toward the mother tree step by step. There were half-saints among these creatures, all of them exceptional heavenly geniuses. Their eyes all flickered with radiance as they looked ahead, searching for opportunities that belonged to them. As Yang Wu moved forward, the ice-winged man, who had a conflict outside the gourd, attacked Yang Wu again. Arrows shot toward Yang Wu rapidly. Yang Wu reacted quickly. He changed his position and dodged the ice-winged man's arrow. Bang! The ice-winged being's attack landed on the other side, creating a muffled explosion that gave all the living beings a fright. Yang Wu turned to the ice-winged man and said in a low voice, "Do you want to die?" The ice-winged man sneered at Yang Wu. "You will be the only one who will die. If you know what's good for you, stay where you are. Otherwise, I don't mind sending you on your way. Seems like you're really a moron." Yang Wu stared at the ice-winged man as if he was looking at a dead man. Other creatures laughed. "A boy in the heaven realm dares to talk to Master Lang like that. He's really courting death. The human clan is full of idiots like him. Master Lang is the most outstanding archer saint. Prey targeted by him can't survive." This ice-winged man was quite famous. Many people in the Ice Clan had heard of him. The Ice-Winged Man was a branch of the Ice Clan. They coexisted with the Ice Men, but they competed with each other. There were fewer Ice-Winged Men, so their status was not as high as that of the Ice Men. The Ice Men, Snow Wolves, and Snow Leopards all thought that Lang could kill Yang Wu. Lang was a half-saint. It was not difficult for him to kill a peerless genius of the human clan Not to mention that the genius was only in the heavenly fish realm. Not far away, Yu also noticed Yongwu. She stared at Yongwu, her heart beating faster. She murmured, "Is that Brother Wu?" Yuan Chuan, the saintess of the sky-severing sect, also noticed that Yongwu was being targeted by the alien clan. She smiled faintly and said, "Can that guy handle it? You are very confident, but from now on, you have lost the chance to live. Wait for my death judgment." Ihan Lang had his eyes on Yongwu from the beginning. He felt that Yongwu had a little girl with him and knew some secrets. He had just heard what the little girl said to Yongwu. He felt that it was necessary to get rid of this strange pair of siblings first. Icy Death Arrow. Ihan Lang no longer held back. He poured all his strength into the arrow and shot it out. It was like the death of the heavenly kingdom. The absolute cold power formed an ice bridge and fell toward Yongwu in an instant. The killing intent it contained was extremely strong. Before the arrow arrived, it had already made people feel cold all over. Yongwu realized that this arrow was not easy to block. Ihan Lang had poured his half-saint power into it, and it had a unique killing power. If he was alone, he would have no problem blocking it. Even if he was injured, he could recover immediately. However, he had little Nan with him. He did not want her to be hurt at all. Once again, he chose to dodge. However, when he dodged, the arrow actually turned and chased after him. "Ha! My icy death arrow has locked onto you. It will only disappear after you die. Just wait for your death." Ihan Lang laughed proudly. In his opinion, Yongwu was already a dead man. The other creatures also thought so. Was it possible for a half-saint to not be able to kill a mere heaven realm warrior? Soon, they found out the answer. Yongwu ran at full speed to dodge. He looked at Ihan Lang and shouted, "Those who want me dead have already seen the king of hell before me. You will not be an exception." Invisible kill of ice blade wings.